Oh no.
Morton.
Good morning. Bushmills. What's up, y'all? Take a moment to share the broadcast. What's up, son?
Brought to you by Panera Bread. At Panera, breakfast to go.
Tuskegee Air Memorial, no problems, no delays there. The Ryan off to a 24-minute start from 95th Street to downtown Tucson, just fine. As you make your way inbound along the island, so far so good. You're moving over towards the speed each way. The inbound side of the Kennedy right now, just about 26 minutes. Old here to downtown express lanes are doing well.
Maze.
A mild morning in Chicago. Temperatures are in the 40s. It's 44 in June. 44 Wednesday, 44 here in Chicago. Stand to look at traffic weather.
Can I get a piece of tape or something, please?
The views expressed on our programs are not necessarily those of WVON, Midway Broadcasting Corporation, or participating sponsors.
May is Health Awareness Month. Laughter is good for the heart. It increases circulation and decreases stress. This healthy reminder is brought to you.
Y'all take a moment to share the broadcast. Can you hit that door chime?
Rise and shine with the WVON Morning Show.
Wake up!
Featuring Maze Jackson.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
The WVON Morning Show. Wake up!
Come on, y'all take a moment to share the broadcast. Let's get this thing rocking. JG Wentworth, that's a new one. All right, how you feeling this morning? Y'all take a moment to share the broadcast. I'm ready to get this thing cracking. What up, Kenneth Reed? What up? What up, Bueller? What up, Chess, etc.? What up, Vern? What up, Deborah? What up, Leah? What up, Darnell? What up, Dennis? What up, Brother Edward? What up, Quasey? What up, Jonathan? Todd? What up, Deborah? What up, Juan? What up, Melvin? What up, John Rimber? What up, James Shotwell? What up, Felicia? All the way from the crib. What up, DB Digby? What up, Kim Bennett? Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, in the building. Todd, how you feeling this morning?
Oh, energetic, man. Very energetic.
I'm sorry. I didn't quite get that. What'd you say?
Oh, energetic.
Oh,
Yeah,
you good? You energetic? You all woke up? You ready for the week, man?
Well, that weekend killed me. My daughter went to 2 concerts. I'm like, man, she's been to more concerts in her 15 years than I've been in my whole life.
What concerts did she go see? She didn't go to that BKT2. The Asian invasion confirmed.
I cannot confirm or deny.
So did she go 2 nights in a row, or what happened? She went to 2?
Yeah, she went to 2 different ones. She went to the Soldier Field.
Okay. It was a little chilly out there.
It was, but don't worry, they were hopping around and singing, so they kept pretty warm.
All right.
And then she went to the Vic, where they had a new group. I don't even know what their name was.
You know what, Todd? I wasn't. How old is your daughter?
15.
Man, you know what, Todd? When I was 15, I couldn't even think about. You know where I could go at 15? Church and work.
And work.
I had got a work permit just so I could not have to go to church. You know what I mean? All right. It is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Want to send a shout out to all the moms, everyone who celebrated Mother's Day yesterday. Let me do this. Let me say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom? Annette, how you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling great. Had a great weekend, loving on Mom. And I was just thinking about what you guys were talking about. My very first concert was MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice at UIC. My first concert, I was in my 20s.
Okay, so do not laugh, because can I tell you something?
That was not your first.
That was my very first concert, but guess where it was? At the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. And it was MC Hammer, and it was Vanilla Ice. It was on I almost want to say it was on a Halloween weekend. It might have been in the fall. It was a fall concert, definitely. Because I remember, because we went to the concert. It was my first. Was it the concert at the end where all the hammers were going like this at the end? Right? I'm telling you. It actually.
Because you know Hammer used to travel with a entourage.
Man, right? It was like, yep, it was him. It was that the big dude. Remember, he had the right. Well, you know what? Actually, MC Hammer, Quiet as Kept, actually came back as an inventor. You know the keyboard, the Bluetooth keyboard that goes with your iPad?
Yes.
He got the patent on that.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, he's great.
He did pretty well. But now, how about that for coincidence? We were just you were at the North we don't really count UIC as U of I. But yeah, UIC, and I saw the same concert at U of I at Urbana-Champaign. I saw it at that. Now that's old school. You know what? You know what? Have you been playing the I'm So challenge? So it would have been like I'm so right, or Todd, which is I'm so oh no, it's not
So old school.
No. I'm Chicago. No, dang, you messed me up. No. Stop it.
Right,
No. All right, look. Okay, you guys are gonna make it. You know I cannot. You know it is. I am Chicago Circle Campus old, right? So that's what it would be. So it's like the point in which, we might have to do that today.
Write that down right now.
That's a good Facebook one. That'll be good. All right, let me say what's up to the rest of the team. What's up to Sonia Escobar and Sonia Tompkins, the Wonder Twins? How are you, ladies? Did you all celebrate yesterday?
Good morning, yes I did. All my mamas are in a different country or a different state, so I didn't meet.
Okay. What about you, Sonia Tompkins? You good? All right, I'm going to assume you're good. Okay, she's recovering. All right, well, there it is. Let's do this. Well, since everybody's recovering, let's get this thing up to 50,000 feet. Let's get the soul plane up in the air. This is the WVON Morning Show with your host, Maze Jackson, co-host Todd Stroger. Todd, you know what? Yes, did you all get a chance to catch me on Fox 32 this weekend? You know what? That Flannery fired up. I didn't realize it was all 3 days. It comes on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, yeah. I record the Friday show.
You know what? So, can I tell you guys a secret? Okay, I'm going to tell you. So, the super secret is I don't watch on Friday or Saturday. I wait until Sunday when I have my cup of coffee, and then I pretend like I'm part of the Sunday morning lineup. Right? So it's like I get home, like normally I get up, if I know I'm gonna be there, I go, I get my coffee, then I sit down and I act like I'm all ready to watch Meet the Press, and I turn on the TV, but I go to Fox 32 first, and it's like, oh my goodness, who is that masked man? And then I feel like, you know what, I only got a half hour more to go until I really make the big time. Like I just I'm only a half hour away from Meet the Press, y'all. Half hour. So I could taste it. All right. So you know what? And it was interesting because Mayor Lightfoot went to Washington D.C. and I got a little opportunity to talk about it. And I want to talk about that a little bit later because there's a lot going on in the city of Chicago, and she was in Washington D.C. Although I do think she should have gone, but boy. The natives are getting restless, Todd. Are you saying it? Are you reading it? The natives are getting restless.
What do you mean?
Well, it seems like Alderman Bill had an interview this week with Fran Spielman in which he was like, if Lori Lightfoot don't get it together, we gonna get it together for you. Now, boy. Now,
so is he talking about that they will give her a chance to do committee chairman?
Well, they saying if she don't hurry up and come talk to him, then it won't. Now, I heard that she came back in town and met with the alderman on Friday. It'll be interesting to see how that went and what the outcomes were. Okay, so Todd, it's so much going on though. You know, I think that we though as black folks. We got some double duty to do because I want to know who's watching who is looking out for us. We gonna really have to get into that. I'm gonna say that though. How about this, guys? All right, I'm getting nervous. Okay, Wednesday I have to submit my paperwork because I am going to officially submit to be a candidate for the 10th District State Representative, and all of the paperwork is due by 5 o'clock on Wednesday. So I don't really, I'm starting to hear the race is shaping up. I'm hearing, I don't really want to let any of my, you don't tell anybody else, so I'll just stay focused. And then on Friday, guys, I'm wondering if you all might be willing to join me on Friday at the JLM Center. That's the Johnny L. Miller Center on the west side of Chicago, and kind of watch the process because they're going to make the selection next Friday. So I'll let you all know all the details on that. Plus, this Thursday, don't forget the What's in It for the Black People first fundraiser, like official fundraiser. We want to see everybody in the building, 4641 South King Drive at Renaissance. Look, let's do all this. We'll talk about the rest of this all when we come back. It's the Talk of Chicago 1690. Traffic and weather is next.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson coming up on the Talk of Chicago 1690.
What's up, man? Take a moment, share the broadcast. Are you all coming to I found out that the Wiftaba Cash app, Aunt Tennille, is waiting to receive cash. If you tell me where to turn it on or whatever, we could get that cracking. Take a moment, share the broadcast. What up, Sonia? What up? Felicia Lucas Miles. What's up? Nia Malika X Shakir. What up? Blake Turner. Shout out to everybody in Springfield. Shout out to my cousin, to my frat Blake. What up? They don't want me in Springfield, man. I'm just telling you now. The word is out. It's like anybody but Maze Jackson. Quite frankly, it's getting a little irritating. I'm gonna have to make a move. What up, John Anthony? Why you laugh at me, Ty? Yeah, because I'm gonna have to make a move. It's just getting irritating that, like, the way. Oh my God! I can't win for losing now. Oh Lord.
Well, man, as you well know.
Go ahead.
You can tell this ain't gonna be good for you, right?
Go ahead.
If you want to fight, there's always somebody willing to fight you back. So, yeah, nobody's gonna make it easy on you. And people don't like a certain amount of criticism. So no. And I know some of the elected officials think that your criticism of them is too hard. I guess everybody deserves some criticism, but they think that you're over the top. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like as you think. It's not going to be an all-out war on May Jackson. Just the interested parties.
Right, it'll be an all-out war from the interested party that everybody will be scoring points for. So I'm telling you, this is one of those make your name. So they're already working. Anyway, it'll be interesting. Good morning, Tiger. Good morning, Ian. What up, John Anthony? What up, Antonio? The With the Bakash app. Turn it. It's got stuff waiting. I don't know how to get it. We'll talk about it later. What up, Michelle Flagg? What up, Rhonda Spry Payne? What up, Deborah? What up, Brenda Rogers? What up, Dennis Kaiser? What up, Daryl Wallace? What up, Leah? What up, Chess, etc. Bueller? Kenneth Reed? Jewel Thompson? What up, Rory? What up, Ronald Rulak? What up, Sydney Marcel? What up, Alvin E. Norton? What up, Teresa Robinson Thompson? What up, Daryl Stiff? What up, Tim King? What up, Lily of the Tigers? What up, Erica Swain Farrell? What up, Merrick Power? We gonna make some time for our little people. What up, Philip Samuels? What up, James Matthews Jr.? To rock around, that's right on time, it's tricky. Tricky, tricky, tricky. I met this little girlie. Her hair was kinda curly. Went to her house and bust her out. I had to leave her early. So this girl is warmly sleazy. All they just say is please me. Or spend some time and rock around. I said it's not that easy. It's tricky to rock around, that's right on time, it's tricky.
Tell them, D.
It's tricky, tricky, tricky. It's tricky to rock around, that's right on time, it's tricky. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Look at people walking, try to make us rhyme, but really walk, but they just walk because we have no time. And in the city, it's a pity because we just can't cry. People try to do nothing, they know who's inside. It's tricky to rock around, that's right on time, it's tricky.
Hey.
Tricky, tricky, tricky.
It's tricky to rock around, that's right on time, it's tricky.
You are tuned in to Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. It's tricky, Todd. It's tricky, man.
It's tricky. Man, we had a great party at our apartment, and we had this album. Oh, boy. The police came. It was midnight. The police came.
At midnight? Todd, you stayed up till midnight?
I was like 22.
Oh, okay.
The police came, and they were like, the first thing is, invite us back the next time you have a party. But you got to break it up now.
Well, let me tell you, this was one of those. This is the album that made. This was one of the beginnings of the crossovers, right? Because this was on the same as the Walk This Way album,
Right.
and so Remember, all the white guys thought they was cool because they knew walk this way, and then this was their second. It's tricky when you can get this one.
This video came out on Friday Night Videos.
Right.
That was big stuff.
And then you get the, then that would have been a perfect video.
And Penn and Teller in it.
I remember that. Think about how funny that would have been to make a video. Like, you were actually a video if they would have taped it. Like, the police come in and they bust up y'all wild party. What were you guys drinking? Like, punch?
Yes.
Everclear punch, probably. The infamous.
It was Everclear, but I was punch.
It was, well, that was the college drink. Punch and Run DMC while I was in high school, though. So I really don't know too much about that, but I do know that this was a great album and it was a great time. Don't forget, you guys. Did you check out the NBA this weekend? Was off the chain, man.
Holy moly! 7 games and they all went down to the wire.
Man. Kawhi Leonard is the man. Steph Curry
He always was the man. They just play him down.
They play him down. Well, you know what? And in Toronto, right? He's in Toronto.
Who? Toronto.
Right, Toronto. Who watches Toronto basketball? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, and there's Toronto. Yeah. So that's that. But man, how about Steph Curry's resurgence? Kind of that whole.
Yeah,
he had
he woke up.
Right. He woke up and they was man. Aisha. She probably fixed. She's so bad, and I want to get to know you better. Ooh, how appropriate. How inappropriate.
No, exactly.
Right. How about this one? Todd, what'd you do this weekend? I'm sorry, I didn't even ask you.
I took my daughter around.
Oh, that's right. You drove her around. You were the chauffeur. You know what, man? I am. Now, are your kids is your daughter gonna get a driver's license?
Yeah, she's already talking about it.
Right.
She's opposite of my son, who was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take that test. Yeah, I'm gonna take that test. Yeah, I'm gonna take that test."
You know what? I'm gonna tell you, as a driving parent who has to drive everyone around to everything, it's like I used to think I was gonna dread my kids getting a license. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Now you're tired, right?
I'm like, man, boy, I can't wait till you learn how to drive. Cause
Yeah.
man, please. All right, Todd. Did you see the diamond ring debacle over the weekend?
No.
Where apparently there are allegations the FBI is investigating whether a former Quinn top aide, who actually is a friend of mine,
Yes, I saw that.
Big Lou Bertuca, could potentially have had his wedding ring paid by a state vendor who received tens of millions of dollars in state grants in the last moments. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Are they friends? Even though, to be honest with you, I don't have friends like that. I got close friends. I never would ask them, "Hey man, can you pay for my ring?" I would ask anybody that.
Hey, you know what? Okay. So this is one of those ones where it's like too close for comfort.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know what? So I'm gonna let that be. I'm just gonna say, boy, the white boys get away with murder. I'm just gonna say you know it though. But it's like you be thankful sometimes. Like, you know how you know people, but that know people, but you don't, man. That's all I'm gonna say. And for all of those of us that are in Springfield or who have been in Springfield and know the story, you know what? It's just, ooh, did I hit the button? For the black guys, you know, we see things like this and we be like, that would never happen for a black guy. That would just never happen for a black guy. No matter how that would never happen for a black guy. I'm gonna just let that ride. On that note,
it would be like, oh, he paid for his dinner at the big steakhouse. He's going to jail.
No, he'd be like, they took him to Ronnie's.
Yeah.
Took him to Ronnie's Steakhouse, and it was a stakeout at Ronnie's Steakhouse, and they're all, hey, Todd, I'm gonna jump real quick. Speaking of stakeouts. Okay, so I'm not gonna say any names, but it has once again sometimes I traffic in rumor and innuendo, right?
I've heard you say that before.
So I traffic in rumor and innuendo, and I got some for my trafficking. I've had some very good rewards for it. Well, the traffic and rumor report pipeline tells me that a Southside alderman is shopping for a very expensive defense attorney. That's never good.
No.
Especially in this environment. And it's now turning into a place where, they are saying that. So, you know what, Todd? I got some great sources sometimes. And one of my sources has been pretty spot on accurate as to why Mayor Lightfoot has been slow to announce who she's going to be putting in office, because she is anticipating.
No, I'm sorry. Are you talking about heading departments?
No, I'm talking about in charge of heading city council committees. But part of her slow walk to appointments or signaling is because my sources tell me she has an inside track on who is going to be indicted by the feds.
Oh yeah, the feds, they don't hold their water. They're always leaking something to somebody.
Well, apparently she's got the inside scoop, and so she is not talking. And that's part of the reason she's not appointing people. Now I'm going to get in trouble for that. But the fact of the matter is, it makes a lot of sense. Look, we're going to talk about it all, plus the social media question of the day when we come back to Talk Chicago 1690.
Oh yeah, I've always got some friends saying, hey, my friend at the Fed, U.S. said, yeah, they're always.
You got Fed friends? I got to
No,
talk
I
to
got
you.
friends who know friends at the Fed.
Friends of the
lawyers. Lawyers, they all know each
Friends
other.
of the Feds.
Yeah.
They all used to go to Rick's.
That's probably true.
They used to go to Rick's, and you go sit in Rick's and you can get all of that.
Yeah, that's oh, let me turn that off. They got their own fraternity. Yep, and they want people to know something. Look at what they were doing with Blagojevich. They let a lot of stuff out. And I'm not even talking about Fitzgerald getting on TV and blasting them. I'm just talking about they're just letting things out just to make things play the way they want it with them. But that's the way it is. The feds use every trick in the book they can to make sure that they can win the case.
And we're beating Fox 32 live right now
Oh, really?
on social media.
That doesn't surprise me.
What?
Hey,
I want a job.
that guy who was the host, he looks like Tom Cruise in Risky Business. Probably older than me, so.
I want to I want to do TV. I want to do television too. So I want to do. I'm ready.
You're doing television.
I want to do television.
You had a good presence yesterday.
Thank you. She said it was funny because the lady who was miking me.
And Seraphin was like, Maze is right. He kept on saying that.
You know what? Tom Seraphin was like, man, I love that What's in It for the Black People. He was like, no one is doing. I mean, he was like, it's like when I tell you the only people who give me drama about What's in It for the Black People are black people. He was like, that is, I don't really want to go too far into our conversation, but here is Tom Seraphin, who is really highly regarded in the space.
Yeah.
Like when you go to his Christmas party and you just see who's at that party, like,
I'll be crashing the next year.
oh, you're not gonna be crashing it, you'll be on it because he's a listener. But he knew about the state rep race. He was like, man, he was like, even if they don't, he was like, well, he actually said Madigan would be smart to try and work with me. He was like, he would be smart to try and work with you instead of trying to be against you, because they're gonna need a black advocate. See, man, my thing is, why do we have to be scared to be us? Okay, let me stop. I don't even want to go on that.
I think that makes sense, though. But I always say that we shoot ourselves in the foot by not advocating for ourselves louder. If we are always going to be concerned that they're going to be like, oh, there they are crying again, then they will totally ignore you because they know they got you. I can't see.
Oh,
They know
move
they
it the
got
other
you.
way.
I can't see anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's not even bright enough. What the hell? If you pardon that.
Turn up your light on the top of your computer. There should be a button that looks like it's.
On this thing?
Look at the top of the keys. Like, look at your F5 key.
Oh,
No, your
oh,
F6.
No, I
Some-
think
you see one that-
F2 looks like one. So is that a shift? F2?
No,
Or
you
is it F2?
no, like at the very top row.
Yeah.
Is there anything that looks like it's got?
That looks like a sunburst, doesn't it?
Okay, I don't know. I can't see it from here, but I'm gonna take this
Oh,
off
yeah,
the
yeah,
top
yeah.
of your head.
Top of my head is beautiful, man. Forget that. That didn't work. I'm going to settings.
What up, MG? What up? Anyway,
Let there be light.
Tom Seraphim was pretty cool being on there. I had no idea that he was gonna be the co-host, and I didn't know it was gonna be somebody different. But anyway, the lady was like, "Boy, you're pretty much a regular around here." Thank you. Shout out to Maya Seals too for the plug. Man, y'all.
That wasn't right.
Can you all get tickets to the What's in It for the Black People fundraiser? Can everybody show up? Can everybody in the Lion's Den, everybody in What's in It for the Black People, can we pack the house? Every judge that's been elected, that's got votes from us, all of you all that stop me in the middle of the street and be like, man, I listen to you every day, come through. Don't be scared. You ain't got to get your name called out, but you know it's going to be a time
Don't be scared.
when y'all want to get when you're going to want to get the endorsement of WIFTA because you know it's good for 15 to 20,000 on the judge side. I'm telling you, countywide, you're running countywide, you're going to want that. If you're running for a sub-circuit, it could literally put you over the top. Ask David Kelly. He was this close to winning. Nobody had ever even really. I want to see people like you, Mayor Power. Y'all don't run from your friends. Come on, stand up. Let them know it's a lot more black people than just Mayor's talking about what's in it for the black people. How I feel about you. So do I have phone lines? But do I have... Oh, but I can take calls. Okay. When else tomorrow? And even if you can't do 50, you can do 10. Every dollar counts. I can tell you how I feel about you now and then. How I feel about you. Hey, hey. I can tell you how I feel about you night and day. How I feel about you. Oh. You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Ty, what you know about that? You don't know nothing about no Al B. Shore.
No, that was right in my wheelhouse. That was probably one of the biggest albums while I was in college. And he should never have to work again after that album.
Well, I'm going to tell you.
He had four singles off that album.
I'm going to tell you. That album was when I was in high school. That's when I had my cassette player. Boy, you played that Al B. Shore. He had a bunch of, you could play the whole first side. You never had to push fast forward, none of that stuff. Night and Day. This was his first one. This was when the light skinned guys was in. Remember when light skin? That's when the light skin.
I tell you, from having more than one party, that Keith Sweat was really popular at that point.
Keith Sweat and Al B. Shore, but Keith Sweat, that was my dude. I could sing the whole Make It Last Forever album back to back to back to back to back to back. All right, y'all, check this out. Don't forget this Thursday, May 16th, Renaissance, 4641 South King Drive. It is the What's in It for the Black People fundraiser. Look, you know what? It's a lot of people. It's a lot of elected officials. It's a lot of judges. It's a lot of, just a lot of black folks that want to not, if you want to find somebody that's going to advocate not for people of color, not for all, but for black self-interest specifically, we need y'all to come on out. Come on out, show your face. Don't be scared. If you got to hide in the back, I could put put a behind the curtain room. So if you scared to acknowledge if you scared to acknowledge the black, but I'm going to tell y'all, we need to let the world know that black folks are ready to stand up and put our foot in the game. So I hope to see all of y'all this Thursday. Just want to make sure we're clear. We are not raising money in the name of any of the former heroes that there will be. Let me stop being petty. All right, let me move on. Social media question of the day. All right, Todd. No sooner did Lori Lightfoot get elected mayor did the powers that be lay down their swords and pledge their loyalty to mayor-elect, or at least try. Because in some cases, even before she asked for it, and now I'm starting to think, she may start to be thinking that Black Chicago is sweet.
Is what?
Sweet. You know what I mean? You ever heard people be like, hey man, people think stuff sweet, instead they use the S word, the other S word. You know, when you think it's sweet, anyway, soft. Like you feel like, man, you walk in and you be like, oh, it's sweet around here. I can come around here and do anything I want to do. But before we have a parade or a party, I just want to know, can black people get focused on what we actually want? Now, what really made me think about this is over the last couple of few weeks now, I have seen like this parade of parties for the mayor-elect. And in some cases, it's parties thrown by people who weren't necessarily supporting mayor-elect, but are the people who are the powers that be or purport to be the powers that be in our city, county, or state, particularly in the black space. And my question is, while we are meeting and partying and being like all good, what's the ask? What's the demand? What are we talking about when we talk to the mayor-elect now? So like, I keep seeing all these photographs, and I see all of these. I'm seeing the tour, and on the meet and greet, I'm cool. But I want to know what are we holding Mayor Lightfoot accountable for? So the social media question of the day is, what will black people hold Mayor Lightfoot accountable for? When I was on Fox 32 this weekend, shameless plug, I said that Black Chicago was going to hold her accountable not only for impacting the violence, and when she said did she want to make her mark her legacy, it was, she said that she wanted to make a significant change in the crime and violence in Chicago. But I said, as I tend to do, economics, baby.
Yes.
I said black people are going to want to participate in the economic largesse. Did I say economic largesse? The economic largesse that this city has been experiencing. Because, again, while we see all these parades and parties and kick-its and love fests, it's still, we still last. And I am challenged by the notion that because we have a new mayor-elect, that our issues have changed. Nothing has changed. I have not seen, I have not heard, I have not seen what is for the black people. No. I want to see the black papers, the black white paper. This is my specific plan for black people. Now, if it's not on her, then it's on us. And what 8 days till inauguration, what's in it for the black people? What will Black Chicago hold Mayor Lightfoot accountable for? Y'all so busy. We so busy being like, ding dong, the witch is dead, the witch, oh witch, the witch is dead. But in our celebration, what do we hope to accomplish going forward? So, give us a call, 312-374-8130. That's 312-374-8130. And tell me, what will black people hold Mayor Lightfoot accountable for? Because again, we know how black folks vote against stuff. But what you voting for? What are you voting? Excuse me. My mom might be listening. What are you voting for? Oh, what's the matter, cat? Got your tongue? Where's the phone lines? How come they're not lighting up? Everybody was like, yes, all right, we won. This reminds me of like the Dan Ryan. Remember when everybody was like, we won! Whoa! We won! We shut down the Dan Ryan. Negro, how has your life changed? What you get? Because again, politics, it's not for free.
Nope.
It's not for free.
I know what I want.
What you want, Todd?
I want some money for economic development down 79th Street. And especially down Stony Island going east where the Regal is.
So let me tell you how you work that. So you know how, because I'm going to tell you, we went cheap. So you know how they did the 78?
Yes.
Right? You know how they gave that $6 billion up? What you think they would have gave up to get the $6 billion? They would have, they would have gave up $25 million because Ron gave away $25 million 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
You think you got $250 million, $250 million? You could have did something on 79th Street?
I could have done something from the Ryan all the way down to the end of 79th Street.
But guess what y'all took? Y'all took a cross out. Y'all took a 1 day delay, a cross out, and you went from 10 to 15, and from 25 to 30. And that ain't no change, no deal. You didn't rewrite the contract. Now y'all's happy. I'm saying $6 billion. They could have.
Actually, those are projected numbers. You try to reach them, but sometimes you don't.
But they gonna get their money though. They getting theirs. All I'm saying is, why y'all celebrating? What are y'all holding the mayor accountable for? Give me a call, 312-374-8130. Black lollipops. Here we go, starting all over again. We'll be back after traffic and the weather.
More of the morning show with
So, y'all let them give away $6 billion. Y'all, $6 billion. They bought your activists for probably about $1.5 million, and then walked away. They didn't even pay They didn't even pay a point. They didn't give us a point on that billion. On that $6 billion. If they would have gave you a point on the $6 billion, you could have fixed 79th Street. What y'all holding anybody accountable for? Y'all around here having a party, right? Y'all like, man, we showed them. Okay, I'll let Todd talk. Todd.
Yeah. But vision. It comes
This is why y'all need me to be y'all state rep. You need me to be your. Let me stop.
Well, it comes with help. rare that your elected officials, I know I've said this before, it's rare your elected officials are gonna come up with a plan. They need outside help. They need the people who are directly affected, people who wanna build it, people whose businesses are there, business that you wanna place there. Yeah, all those people need to come together to make a plan, and then the elected officials, like a football, they put it right in their stomach and they're supposed to run across with it.
on Friday.
So, part of this I put on the business community.
What business community? Because they had a party. The business community had a party.
No, I meant the black business community.
The black business community had a party. You ain't see it? Everybody was at the party. They was all at the party, and she was like, but look, here go the thing.
No, but I'm talking about the businesses on the south side. I'm not talking about the contractors and people like that who they do business everywhere. I'm talking about the people who would be directly affected, who would move into storefronts, develop the storefronts, all that kind of stuff. Those are the people who should have been making noise about, look, here's your chance.
Those are all the
Squeeze.
Arabs. I mean, those are all the whatchamajigams. So what we would have needed to do. See, here's the problem. The problem is most of our organizations are so tightly wrapped in with the aldermen.
I'm gonna do this. This is a bit much, but
That's fine. I don't have to know. I'm just gonna roll with them. I'm just roll with them. Just give me their
I'm
name.
listening to them. Make sure they talk about what you want to talk about.
But I feel like most of those business associations are so tightly tied into the local alderman or whatever. They feel like their advocate is that, and I think people are gonna have to either. So like, the major business associations that I know are interwoven with the local alderman, right? And that has been the source of their success. So if they go to the mayor directly or the mayor-elect directly, they risk the challenge of the local alderman being like, I'm your bread and butter. And so...
No, but my point is, you were probably out of the room, that's what I was saying.
Oh.
Their job is to hand it to the alderman and say, this is what we need you to jump in here now and bring this up so we can get something out of this so we can fix our business. What I also found is when I was the alderman, we had a spiff, you know what a spiff?
Yeah.
A spiff is it's a small business fund that comes out of TIF money. And you can literally take $50,000 and redo your place. The small businesses were like, no, that's okay, but it's free money. And they're like, oh man, free money? No, that's okay. I mean,
That's because they always think it's a trick or you got to show something that they don't want to show. Your name, it's just the little things you do that means so much. It's the what you put into every touch. It's the way I trust you and you trust me. I guess some of us are so lucky. I was known for having the upper hand. I was known as a stone cold ladies man. If it wasn't for you, I'd be that way still. But lately there's a change in down Lil. Son games and tease me a lot. I'm happy with what I got. Come in the morning and go to work. Lay long, I stay alert. Come home at night and close the door. Two people share one common cause. We say with love, you can trust me, cause never have I been so lucky. One love, one love. You're lucky just to have just one love. One love, one love. You're lucky just to have just one love, one love. You're lucky just to have just one love, one love, one love. You're lucky just to have just one. You are tuned into Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson.
My wife thought that love raps were kind of whack. She was not in favor of them.
What? What about when I'm alone in my room? Sometimes I stare at the wall, and in the back of my mind, I hear my conscience call,
That's
telling
what
me,
people say?
"Yes, I need love."
I
Man,
like it, but she's not for that.
Man, the rap love song when I Need Love came out, man, everybody I think LL might have made the whole world go he might have been the real crossover. Cause I'm telling you, in Bolingbrook, every white girl in the whole world knew every word to I Need Love. Everybody knew every word. And then Right. You know what? Hey, y'all, it's the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. All right. This is the social media question of the day. What will black people hold Mayor Lightfoot accountable for? I think that everybody is having parties. Everybody kicking it. It's like, do you think like the people that was all for Team Tony, but do you think they all just get to slide over to Mayor Lightfoot?
The rich ones, yes. You know.
Cause you know what, I heard that Mayor Lightfoot went to a rich black party, and she was like, "While y'all having parties and kicking it, y'all do realize there's blood running in the streets."
Mm-hmm.
And they was a little offended, like, you know, we having a party for you, right? And she like, yeah, y'all having a party, but you know, it's a lot of black people getting killed on the south side, west side. They didn't like that very much. They was like, that's not very polite of you when we're having a party for you.
Well, I will say that it's unusual for...
she said, blood is running in the streets.
It's unusual for anybody who comes to a party that is for them to chastise the people who threw it. Okay.
As also, do you think at some point the people who threw the party, like, probably, like... See, I feel like the thing is...
But and also, what was she trying to get at?
I thought, well, from my interpretation, because I wasn't there. You know, they don't invite me to the good parties no more. They be like, oh, you caused too much trouble. But my interpretation from the people who were there was that she basically was saying, you know, black people, y'all have some responsibility. You know, like, you all are blessed. You are fortunate. You have some more duty or some more responsibility to deal with the issues that are going on in the communities that you used to come from.
People don't like to hear that.
You know, and especially when they're having a party.
But don't get me wrong, I'm all for it. She right. You go, girl.
Because I'm just saying, it's like, I promise you, if you talk to some people, I swear to God, I swear to God, if you talk to some people, you would think that there is absolutely nothing wrong in Black Chicago. Like, it's all good. We making $150,000 a year. We good. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Katie. Katie, what will Black Chicago hold Mayor Lightfoot accountable for?
I will hold her accountable for things like she said at the party. You know, these black people that is on there, that's doing good and making their little money. That means nothing for the rest of the black people who are dying in these streets and with this violence, and also the fact that our neighborhoods are not growing. So I will hold her accountable for that, and if she continues to preach that to the, especially to the black people that got theirs, and not thinking about other black people in Chicago that is where the wealth is pitiful. So I will hold her accountable for that.
Thank you. Now I'm going to Anthony. Anthony on Talk Chicago. What will Black Chicago hold?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor's team, everybody.
Good morning.
You know what? I'm not going to hold her as accountable as I will these aldermen. This Black Caucus, they're the ones that need to come up with the plan. That's why you've always heard me be so hard on your board, the caucus leader, or what have you. You know, some of these ideas, they know what needs to be. They know we need jobs down through here.
All right.
I mean, you know.
You're right, Anthony.
Okay, trust me. There's a need for just about everything here.
You're right. All right, let me go. I got one more call. I'll take it. Is it Janie? Janie, you on the Talk Chicago? You got 60 seconds.
Hi.
Actually, 40.
We need to look at all the public policies that put the black neighborhoods in the situations they are in. We need sanctuaries for black people, and we need to form a plan to make sure people can stay in their homes. Public policy made these things happen like this. Change the policies, give people more time, give them a payment plan to keep their homes. You can't say, we want to help you, but then take the home in a certain amount of time. Extend that time, help the people.
Thank you, Jamie. It's the Talk Chicago 1690. When we come back, it's Amisha Cross with our Washington, D.C. update. We'll be back.
The Talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation. 1690 WVON.
The update, but we're still going to take calls on Your social media question?
Yeah, I think
Let me see
I'm.
that paper.
Huh? So I think we're gonna do the DC update. Tell them they're gonna have to hold on.
This Monday,
I gotta see how
13,
much Amisha has.
2019. I'm in a
Cause I'm gonna go back to this. It's gonna really roll into the DC update, and then we're gonna roll into the Alderman, which will also be part of this.
Okay.
Cause I'm kind of weak at 8 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Shoot. Did you all
B.
hear-
Mullins, what up, boy? Welcome back.
How comfortable are you talking about abortions?
Man, I was thinking about that one.
You know
You
what I'm
talking about the
talking
one
about,
in
the
Georgia?
jail? Yep.
Man,
Isn't that scandalous?
that's game. That is Handmaid's Tale. Y'all don't want to hear me when I keep telling you that. When I saw that, I was like, this is Handmaid's Tale right here. Like, the baby has a heartbeat, now you can be prosecuted. Then they're gonna start putting the moms who get prosecuted, that's how they're gonna know you're fertile. And then they're gonna start putting y'all in the fertile jail, and then they're gonna start making you make babies. I'm telling you, it's coming. Okay?
That is it. When I read that, I was just like, really? This is what's happening now? You gonna put somebody in jail for abortion? So not only do you put the mother in jail, shouldn't you put the doctors in jail?
Right. I mean, the doctor is really the one who would know that. It's not the mother, and would say, no, I can't do it because of this.
Right.
I think that's going to the Supreme Court.
And guess who has the Supreme Court? Donald Trump.
And he all for it.
In an election year, he wanted to go to the Supreme Court.
It's bigger,
That will activate.
It's bigger than Donald Trump. It's a conservative movement, not Donald himself, because the justices are there for life, which I think actually should change. We should have a constitutional amendment to make it 20 years, and then you got to go. I don't care who you are. Nobody should have a job for life. That's like being you might as well be the king. It's a monarchy.
It's a judicial monarchy.
It really is.
You see how they blocked Obama? Y'all told me he could have had 2. They was like, oh no, Negro. All right, y'all, are you all making sure who all is planning on coming to the What's in It for the Black People fundraiser? Look, I need all of y'all in the building. We need big crowds. We need big people. We need y'all to come with whatever y'all got. Bring it. Sly, I need to get water. I'm down to 5 gallons, and I'm telling you now because it's gonna take me 6 years to get it. So I need some water. I'm feeling very curmudgeon-y today, guys. Very curmudgeon-y. I have a really bad attitude.
Just some little things that I don't know if this is of interest, but this young lady got raped, and the doctors or the nurse, either the doctors or the nurse, actually told the man who raped her, and he went back and raped her again.
I can't talk about
That's
that.
a HIPAA issue.
Right.
Wait, what
Who
happened?
does that? It's
HIPAA.
right, because they are protected under HIPAA.
Wait, he raped her again. Why did he rape her
He
again?
ended up finding out where she lived and everything through the people at the hospital.
Yeah, that's a crime. I mean, besides the rape issue, the information leakage.
Okay.
For the hospital and whoever gave it out.
There was a lot of sadness. Okay, you know what?
I can't do
What about
that.
the young man who was charged for murder?
And defended himself and got out.
No,
Yeah.
blind man.
Oh yeah.
Blind
That's
man.
like a bunch of that. Like that to me is like you string a bunch of those stories together. Like, so what I would do if I was doing that, if you were gonna go in that direction, I would string like 4 of them together, because I don't have enough detail to go into. Like if I was doing that at 8:30, I would be like 4 black things that happened that were kind of similar that you could be like, okay, I'm black in the news.
Got let loose over the weekend and shot the man on the L, and they having a holy fit. Did you hear Mayor Ron saying that he doesn't understand how this 14-year-old went free?
What
He
is
shot
it?
somebody
What
on
was
an L station.
What was his initial arrest?
The little boy's initial arrest.
Yeah.
He was seen shooting these people.
He shot the people, but he was but some like they interrogated him without his mind.
Right.
So they had to let him go completely.
But Rom is on 1,000. All of us.
Was he black?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes. Little boy.
Well, that's a police issue. That's his people.
But he's making it the judge issue.
So if they broke the police broke the law, then it's a police issue.
You gotta hear Rom. Rom is making the judge issue. I can't believe.
I mean, I
he's
believe
the
what
judge.
you're saying, but
Right.
I don't need to hear him. That's,
Right.
Yeah, he's in the wrong ballpark.
I just want to know if this judge is black. That's what it is.
Judge is following the law. They call it the rule of law.
Until it's a nigga. Then it's the rule of Negroes. Excuse me.
We have a Misha.
Houston, we have.
Solutions apply. Visit staples.com.
Yeah, I'm usually like, I don't talk about religion and abortion. Those are the two subjects that are all emotion. I'll talk about religion for a minute. But just a minute.
But once you get in it, you can't do it for a minute, though. That's the problem. Cause
Why
people
can't I just stop talking? Oh. Ain't that important to me.
What you doing tonight? You want to come to Tobacco Road where I'm getting the award for Media Impact, the Media Impact Award? You're more than welcome to come. It's tonight. You should come.
Where is it?
At the Harold Washington Cultural Center. Hey, do you guys want to come to the Harold Washington Cultural Center with me tonight? I gotta look up. Tell Tennille, please give us the details. But it's where I get the Media Impact Award, and they got food.
Oh, yeah.
Just food?
Yes.
I'll be there.
Okay. So it's tonight. I believe it's at 7.
At 7.
Look, he was like at 7.
No, I'm saying it's at 7.
Yeah, I get it's the Media Impact.
I'm real tired.
Yeah, well, it would be great to have the morning show team because, you know, I have the Media Impact Award. It'd be great. If any of my Wiftable people want to come, you're more than welcome. Hit me up.
I know where my clean shirt is and everything. I got to find my shoe polish.
I used to love polishing my shoes. I just don't have the energy anymore.
I used to polish my shoes every Friday.
I do love you. You can have a piece of my love waiting for you. Girl, it's true. You can have a piece of my love. Yeah, girl, it's true. Baby, you can't have all of me, 'cause I'm not totally free. I can't tell you everything that's going on. Baby, there's a few things in my past that should not be explained. I'm begging you, baby, stay with me for a little while. Please, hush. No questions asked. Lay back and relax. I do love you. Don't kick off your shoes. Let your pretty hair down. Man, baby, I'm giving you a piece of me you can't have.
Have a piece of my
Love waiting for you. Girl, it's true. You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I gotta say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to my man Todd Stroger, my co-host. Todd, what you know about that?
Man, this is right in my wheelhouse.
Todd, you keep saying this is in my wheelhouse. I didn't even think they said wheelhouse in the New Jack Slang era. But
I go further back than the New Jack Swing era. That's why.
but you know, this is man. You don't remember when Guy was doing their thing? That's that Teddy Riley doing his thing. But let me say this: what's up to the WVON Morning Show team? You know how we do at the top of the hour. Got to say what's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom, as well as the Wonder Twins, Sonia Escobar and Sonia Tompkins. But you know, on Mondays, this is when the Soul Plane takes a detour and we touch down in Washington D.C., where we pick up our Washington, D.C. correspondent, Miss Amisha Cross. Amisha, how you feeling today? Amisha, are you there? Hello? Is this thing on?
It's pretty good. How are you?
All right. I'll take it off that mute. All right. You know how people be sitting around like, mute. You're probably talking to 20 people, but it is Amisha Cross with our DC update. How you feeling, Amisha? There's so much going on. I want to jump right into it. What is going on with President Trump, Congress, and Warren Barr? Are we in a constitutional crisis?
Right now, President Trump is playing a game of cat and mouse. The belief is that he is actually pushing the Democrats to go the impeachment route. He is doing things on a daily basis to actually substantiate a lot of the claims, particularly as we look towards obstruction. With that being said, he knows that the American public does not care about these impeachment proceedings. And he also knows he won't actually be impeached because the Senate's not going to do it. Senate Republicans will not do it. What he wants to walk Democrats in is the process, because he knows it will take their eye off the ball for 2020 in terms of, pushing for policies and things that the American public actually do care about, because they will be consumed with this impeachment. One, that he would never actually face any real penalty for anyway. So I think that there is a strategy here for him to knock Democrats off of the game, so to speak.
And so does it look like the Democrats, does it seem like Nancy Pelosi is going to be able to hold the line? Because Democrats seem to be pushing for an impeachment, although she knows that this does not seem to be the smartest route to take.
They are chomping at the bit, and I think that you are correct in that assessment. Whether she can hold them off, I think that's the million-dollar question. Every day, she continues to push them to understand what we need in 2020, how we can actually make progress in healthcare reform and immigration reform and all of these other things, and that road is going to be blocked should we take our eye off the ball and focus solely on impeachment. And I think that because of some of the newer members in Congress, because of this growing extreme leftist wing, she is hitting a wall to a certain extent. But she's also doing a secondary thing, and that's pushing Democrats to understand that they need to be more centrist to be able to actually stand a chance at winning in 2020. She understands that Trump's approval ratings right now are at the exact same level Barack Obama's were during this exact same time in his presidency. They have not astronomically tanked. He stands a pretty good chance of re-election. So she is really cautioning Democrats not to take moves that wouldn't make sense.
Now, I just saw this week that she put Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in the speaker's seat she actually handed her the gavel, making her the youngest person to ever do that. Let me ask you a question. Do you think this is an early attempt at appeasement to try and rope these people in, because Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez seems to be the ringleader of this leftist movement that she's going to need to rein in?
Can't put baby in the corner. I feel like at the end of the day, what we're seeing happening right now is, I don't want to say this is an olive branch or an appeasement, because Pelosi is an extremely strategic woman. And what she is doing right now, because she noticed that public opinion polls, especially those who are younger voters, are actually really, really excited about AOC, and she doesn't want to isolate that group. She has said things during AOC's tenure that have consistently been aggressive, and in some ways seen as mean or not helpful to a newer member. And I think that she is trying to showcase, at least publicly, that she can do this, meanwhile still, through back channels and actually on the House side telling her that she does not have that power. And I think that there has to be an understanding here that she did that for public awareness, to showcase to people, hey, I can put her out front, but she's also really trying to reel her in and developing a group that also does the same thing.
It's funny. It's like, I brought you in this world, I take you out. So I think what happens is, now remember, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all about the ring. See, when you get in the seat and you hold the gavel, you feel that power. You feel it surging through you. And then you start to say, this power, if I could have some. And then Nancy says, now give it back. Give it on back. Because now you see, because now you want to experience that again. It's like a drug. When you feel that power. And so Nancy is like, you want some of this? Dance, I say. Dance. All right, so Amisha, what do you think comes of this? Is Mueller going to testify? Will Warren Barr testify? We also saw that Mnuchin said he is not giving up any tax records of Donald Trump. What does this mean for the showdown?
I think that Mueller will more than likely testify. We still have to remember that Donald Trump Jr. was subpoenaed. We're also looking at, unless Barr is subpoenaed, Barr technically doesn't have to testify. The difficult thing here for him, and it goes back to last week's discussion, is that if they are going to have attorneys and people who are non-members of Congress be able to ask the questions during the probe, I think that this sets Democrats up to fail when it comes to actually bringing these folks to the table.
Well, I'm going to tell you that it seems to me that they are positioning this as though our country is at a crossroads. When I hear all this constitutional crisis stuff, though, you're in Washington, D.C., is this theater or is there a true erosion of our government under the Trump administration?
There's a true erosion. I think that I think that the majority of the public doesn't understand the limits of executive privilege. That doesn't mean you can do anything you want at any given time. This president has tried to utilize this as an authoritarian regime, which would eradicate all systems of checks and balances, which is exactly what our system is set up to do, not give the president autonomy and complete and utter control. That's not how our nation was created. I think that what we're seeing right now is a massive oversight, and I don't want to say misunderstanding, because I think that President Trump definitely understands what the limits of executive privilege are. But he's going to push this as far as he can, because, to be honest, what recourse does Congress have? Democrats don't run the Senate.
And that is what fascism is all about. You try to take the power and put it in your hands for everything, and basically he just wants to be a dictator.
Now, so I just want to say that when I kept telling y'all that they said, what if Trump doesn't leave the White House in time, you keep telling me, there's no way it can happen. And then
he's leaving. He's going. He may not want to go out the way that he wants, but he's going one way or another.
You don't think he got some generals that'll be like, I got you, Mr. President? Line them.
You know, the whole system is set up so you cannot get that close to one person. So let's say he did have a general, but all the rest of them be like, I don't like him. So, yeah, I mean, our system is set up to make sure that a coup like that is very difficult to do.
The only way that would happen is if you had a very, very close next election, similar to what we saw with Bush and Gore. And with the makeup of the current Supreme Court, should it go that far, and nothing in my mind says that they would not rule in Donald Trump's favor.
I'm going to tell y'all. Yeah, so I just want to point out, because we was just talking about this. Y'all don't want to hear me when I keep telling y'all about the Handmaid's Tale. Now, in Georgia, they just passed a law that said that you can go to jail, they can lock you up. I saw this all in a movie, y'all. And in the movie,
it's like talking about 1950.
Well,
this is nothing new.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Well, but it could be pretty real. Look, we're gonna talk about it more when we come back. But you know what, Amisha? We're gonna jump, because when we come back, I want to talk about this presidential race. The whole concept of this Biden-Kamala Harris ticket. Boy, I don't really care for some of them, but I'm gonna tell you that'd be a hard ticket to beat. We'll talk about it when we come back. Let's talk Chicago traffic and weather's next.
More of the morning show.
Biden and Kamala Harris would be a beastly ticket.
Go, Uncle Joe. I think it would be. It would be pretty hard. I mean, he's got a certain group that's definitely with him, and
I think
got some punch right now.
But I think how does it add to the? How do they add? How do they get Midwestern, hairy-legged white men?
Would you like to talk about?
It's all about addition. So it's what states can you win? What states you need to win? That's what it's really about. So, you know, you throw out some states like Arizona, Alabama, but it's, you know, it seems like every excuse me, seems like every election now comes down to like Florida. So it's your ability to get to all the states that you need. So, you know, Illinois is already in the camp, but what you want is you want to win like Ohio
that we could just
and Florida. Got to bring Wisconsin back, which I think that wouldn't be a problem with Joe Biden. Got a good chance in Michigan. And you win. I mean, this is just it's all about addition. You don't win all 50 states. You just win enough to get you whatever that was, 271 votes, whatever. So it can be done. And like I said, whenever you don't win the popular vote, it shows a weakness. So you know that the pendulum can swing the other way. It's just, do you have the right person and the right apparatus to get the message out? And I think, man, there's been so much stuff that's going on. You know, is it about the economy? Yes, it's always about the economy.
If it's still the Rust but if it's the Rust Belt, so think about this. J.B. Pritzker, didn't Illinois just get a couple extra $1 billion in windfall because of our portion of the taxes that we got back? Right. So apparently we got like an extra billion something in money because our portion of the terrible Trump tax plan.
Yeah, but it's like everything else. That plan helped some and didn't help others.
I'm saying, but for the state of Illinois, they got a $1 billion, $1.5 billion windfall, right? From their receipts from the taxes, from the new tax system that prevented them from raising our state taxes. It made JB have to back down. Pull that door. Ah, yes, sir. Lex Luger. Shooter. Riffio screaming. And he's spinning with the sound of my money machine. And my cup runneth over. But this time, then I could catch up. Give you a piece of my mind. Who you think you are? Baby, one day you'll be a star. But straight, get my slang. Swooping up top game. On the highway, switching 4 lanes. Money ain't a thing. Me and Twills confirmed. Me and my fam roll tight like the firm. Fight for sure. Like fire burn. Quiet surfing. Like worms. Produce G's like sperm. Like worms. We got expensive clothes with expensive clothes and a sip fine wine. Winter suppose. La da da da. You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host Ty Stroger, and Ty, we as we always do on Mondays, our DC update with Miss Amisha Krause. Amisha Krause, talk to me about this presidential race that seems to be the never-ending parade of candidates. It seems like Beto O'Rourke is falling off, but Joe Biden seems to be surging. And then I hear that there could be potentially a Biden Kamala Harris team ticket that some people think could be unstoppable. Talk to me about what's going on in the presidential.
22 confirmed entrants who are running for the Democratic Party's nomination with no signs of stopping. As you mentioned, Beto has largely fallen off. As most of you guys can recall, 2 to 3 months ago, he was thought to be one of the top contenders. We saw an urgent surge of funding immediately after he announced, and within weeks, he kind of fell to the wayside. Believably so, because Mayor Pete actually stole a lot of his thunder. You can only have so many young white guys get people excited at one time. Beyond that, it's also Biden jumping in. Biden jumped in and took the lead over some of the, and a massive lead over many of the people who have been in this race for weeks. Kamala's steam was pretty high, and people were getting really excited. And then, again, Biden, his name recognition, his tenure in Congress and in the Senate really resonated with your average voters, particularly Democratic voters who were polled. And a lot of the argument has been, well, what about millennials? Thing is, and being a millennial myself, the majority of millennials don't count as a major group when it comes to elections. And I think that unless they were to show up and show out in 2020, what we're going to see is still a large grouping of the party that caters to older voters because they're the largest concentration of people who actually show up.
So, who wins this thing? Who do you think has the best shot of coming out of this thing whole right now? Not that, because I don't even know how do they manage this process with 22 people? Is it 3-day debate? Every day debate is 3 days?
Well, not all 22 people are going to make it to the debate stage. You have to have a certain number of donors and a certain level of money to actually make it to the stage to begin with. Just because you announce doesn't mean we're going to see you. So of that 22, currently we have about 9 who have actually been able to amass that level of cash. So we'll see what happens as we continue. But the thing that's going to knock a lot of these folks off is the sheer amount of fundraising they're going to have to do to make it to that stage. Biden doesn't necessarily have that to worry about. Kamala Harris right now has the largest concentration of African American donors of anybody, and not just African American, minority broadly, donors of anybody in the race. So I think that actually sets the stage for a few things as well. The CDC came out last week, several members of the CDC looking to push for a Biden and Kamala ticket, Biden-Harris ticket. I actually am a little bit biased towards this one, have been excited about that since 2018. I think that it would be a very strong ticket. We already know that he is demographically strong in terms of his reach. At Kamala, you have a female, you also have a person of color, you have someone who is able to reach out towards generations that might not warm up to Biden in the same way. And he's essentially doing the same thing that Obama did when he chose him to be on his ticket. You go with your strengths, and then you notice what your weaknesses are, and you pull on somebody who can be able to compensate for the weaknesses that you have. And I think that is a smart move. You know, I think it's a smart move, but I think when we look at the math, I don't know how it gets them out of their universe. Todd, how do you think that a Kamala Harris, Joe Biden ticket, and I feel like Joe Biden becomes an extension of Obama. Does he pull in enough white men to damage President Obama? I mean, to damage Donald Trump? Because I feel like Kamala Harris and him are really in the same universe. I mean, I think optically that ticket looks great, but when they go to add, how do they add with that ticket?
Hey man, I'm Team Uncle Joe. I think he does pull in a lot of white males who can see themselves in him, rich. Because everybody wants to think they're rich. And, he's got personality and charm. He's got that long time in the Senate. And I think she has an appeal, of course, to women, but she also has an appeal as someone different. That whole different thing that people are looking for. Change. And he is tied to Obama. I totally agree. So I like that ticket. And she's so close to being in the middle. I think she can appeal to a lot of people too. She's not quite what I would call a leftist. So both of you all think that that's a dream ticket? Amisha, you think a dream ticket?
Absolutely. I haven't seen anybody yet who I would think that, even looking from the demographics of both of them pool separately, that would be able to combine as much. I think that we do a lot of talking about those middle voters, the folks in middle America who kind of shifted from Obama to Trump this last race. I don't think that those folks are solidly in the Trump camp. I think that they needed to hear a strong economic message. They needed to feel like they were that they weren't forgotten about. And to the president's point, I think that it's very smart that to understand that Biden can do that for them in a way that I don't think any other candidate in this race can.
Well, I think they did say in the last election, I mean, people, when they actually asked them, they thought that Hillary Clinton wasn't talking to them.
I just think that, I don't know who said it, but I think that it is what it is. I think it's the economy, stupid. I think that if you pump $1 trillion into infrastructure, I think if I'm still looking at the numbers, I think people are looking at how much money they are bringing, or that they're having a job, and I think they're putting the Trump rhetoric to the side. But you know what, guys? We'll figure that out the next time. All right, y'all. Amisha, you know what? Can I tell y'all that sometimes Amisha is so inspirational to me on Facebook, because she says a lot of the things that sometimes I get in trouble for saying. I'm going to jump just a little bit. Amisha, give me your insights on Ayesha Curry, because you had a lot. I feel like that's probably the biggest national debate outside of the biggest national debate outside of President Trump. Give me your thoughts on it.
I understood what Ayesha Curry was saying. I think that a lot of people probably misinterpreted it. She's someone who sees throngs of women shouting out her husband and running behind her husband illicitly all of the time. And I think that to a certain extent, 3 kids in, she's feeling a little bit of self-esteem issues. Her body isn't what it was before these 3 kids. And she's not getting men hollering at her. Like, it's just not happening. And I think that any woman who has been in that position is probably going to feel some type of way about it. A lot of them don't have the courage to come out publicly and do what she did. But I think that it was very brave of her, but it also should put men on notice. This is how females feel.
Oh, I think it should be this. You got the $25 million, the $100 million man. I think she was part of the Look at Me crew, and she fell out of the Look at Me crew. But she's in a different Look at Me crew now, because she got $100 million, and if they ever get a divorce, she gets half. Hey, Amisha, I appreciate your insights. Tell people how they can find you.
Absolutely. You can find me on all things social at Amisha Cross, or you can check out my show, Crosspoint.
No problem. Look forward to talking to you next week. Hey, it's the Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back after traffic news and the weather.
Live from the WVON News.
Yeah, so I think that Ayesha Curry, let me tell y'all my opinion on Ayesha Curry. She had 3 children, and she's married to an NBA superstar. Now, if she want to be back in the game, she either need to go to the doctor or she needs to go to the gym. Not that should be offensive. It's just the reality of life. If you have children, you're not going to be in the same category as the 25-year-old, the 23, 24, 25-year-old Instagram model who is out every day doing squats and lifting and working, etc. Now, if you remove yourself from the NBA everyday, all day category, and you were traveling in the circles of average men, then you probably would get you some Look at Me. But when you are dealing with 10 pluses and you are used to be 10 and now you are a size 10, it's different standards for different calibers of people.
I think you're way off. I think that the difference is when you have children are like a shield. People don't try to hit on you as much when you have children around you.
What if the children ain't with you? She want them to come at her when she ain't got kids.
But it's also that he is always going to get a lot of attention because he's so famous. I mean, I would know her from I know she exists. I've seen her on TV, but
so how do you explain baby mama number 2, baby daddy number 3,
walk right
baby
by
daddy number 4?
I'd walk right by her in the street because she's not Steph Curry. I'd probably recognize him if I were, but I wouldn't recognize her. It's more of he is so famous that there's always going to be people yelling at him on the street, and she will always be in the background. I don't care what she looks like, but she just probably got at this point where he's running around with children, you fall even further back in the shadow. And she's just like, wait a minute, I don't want to be in the shadow. But that's part of parenthood.
No, how about this? You married an NBA player. You're not an NBA player. So your level of scrutiny is going to, there's millions of people watching him and betting and placing money and buying his shoes, and he is on every billboard and all type of course nobody is going to.
Oh, and he's not just an NBA player either. He's a superstar.
Right.
Everybody knows him now. You can't get any bigger than he is. Who doesn't know of the Splash Brothers? It's like my mother-in-law used to watch the Bulls. I mean, she knew Michael Jordan like nobody's business because they were the greatest team in the world. So now Steph Curry's on the greatest team. Everybody's gonna know him. I think it's more just he is getting so much attention more than she's not getting it.
To me, she was an attention hound.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably
Always.
just her personality.
And so she was an attention hound. But now you take that and you go to the park. I'm telling you, there's.
Ask your wife.
I'm not asking my wife. You ain't finna get me in that. No.
Ask your wife when you get home, she rocks the house. Ask your wife if she got more attention after she married you than before she married you. I bet you she'd say, there's people hitting on me, I just don't talk about it.
No, I think that she probably gets. I think she got a lot of attention for a lot of reasons. So first of all, in the political class, just in the political class, when you think about all the female black elected officials, you think about them all in Illinois. I think I won. I think I won.
Of course you think you won. That's
right.
fine.
Okay. So I think I won. Right? I think in the political class, I think that
everything's winning and losing with you in it. But go ahead.
Life is about winning and losing. But I mean, it's love, and I mean that was part of it. But
love. See, there you go. That's
but,
what life's about, man. You want a flower?
No.
Okay.
Then I think that she. So first of all, I don't want to put no words in her mouth, so I don't even want to do that. But I do think that I feel like dudes be hitting on her while I'm standing right there. It's just they know that I'm not, I will say something. So I think that every time a dude reminds me, you could say your wife is beautiful, but every time I see you, you like, oh my God, I can't believe how beautiful she is. Or every time.
Then it becomes creepy.
Right, or it's you told me, for the 20th time, I don't know how you got her, right? It's like.
That's a good joke a couple of times, but after a while.
Right, yes.
So far we got Frank who wanted to hold for your social media parts too.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm about to we're going to open up the conversation to some more. So, I'm not naive to it, but the thing is, because of her job, she knows how to handle herself and carry herself, right? Now, if I see, people know, and it's I'm not above being hey, yo, it's too much, right?
Right.
For the most part, I don't get involved in any of her affairs. Her political, her whatever, I see, she sees. She is very good at blocking and tackling and doing all the stuff that women know, the tactics. And I could be a menacing ogre at every event and be piss-faced and all of that, but it would not help her political career combined with the fact that I'm doing this, right?
Yep.
But don't get it twisted, and I'm pretty clear, hey, yo, if you get out of pocket, that's still my wife. And then that's when I will step in. If I feel like somebody's doing something that but I think that there's a couple things. I think that some people they know I'm territorial, so they do things because they know I'm territorial, but they also know that she's an elected official. So it's gray areas where I might really want to snap, but I can't because.
So you're saying they're stepping in the gray area on purpose?
I would say some people do.
Uh-huh. I can see that. It's your boy.
Uh-oh, there's what the poor. Get it on the right, we can roll. Go! Go! Go, co-creator, go! Go, co-creator, go! Go, co-creator, go! 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 Go, co-creator, go! Go, co-creator, go! Go, co-creator, go! You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man Ty Stroger in the building. Is my co-host. That is LL Cool J. Go Cut Creator Go. Sonya is going back in the day, but y'all, I'm going to take it forward. Hey, Ty.
Hey.
Are you reading in the paper? Are you seeing it? Seems as though the Chicago City Council aldermen are starting to get a little bit restless as it relates to Mayor Lori Lightfoot. Now, when I say they're getting restless, apparently Mayor Lori Lightfoot has not been as forthcoming as aldermen are used to. And I'm not exactly sure how to account for it. So, I think people like Mayor Rahm Emanuel are hard charging and they had big plans. I think most aldermen came in under Mayor Daley, with the exception of people like Ed Burke. But
Right.
So they only knew one way. We are now entering into uncharted territory where we have a mayor who is probably not the most experienced politician, is actually an inexperienced politician.
Right. She never had to interact with the group.
As a whole.
Or any group that of elected officials.
Right. She was generally a report directly to the mayor, and when she came in the game, she kind of had some autonomy where it was like, the mayor told me to do this, so I really ain't got to talk to you like that.
Exactly.
And that's a lot of, back in the Mayor Daley era, that's just usually how it went. If Daley said that's what it was like they was going to convince you to do what the mayor wanted you to do. Right. So, now, Mayor Lightfoot and the city council is in a very awkward position. The city council was supposed to be designed where it was a strong council, weak mayor, but it has always some kind of way worked out to be the opposite. Now people are saying this could be potentially the first time since Harold Washington that we get back to strong council, weak mayor. But it seems to me as though the council is waiting for the strong mayor to make an appearance. And the longer it takes for the strong mayor to make an appearance, the council is starting to sow its royal oats and start to feel itself. We saw last week or 2 weeks ago, Chairman Carrie Austin came out and said she should be the budget chair. She should remain the budget chair, although she did not support Lori Lightfoot.
Right.
But she did pledge her loyalty. She did pledge her allegiance.
Mm-hmm.
We saw rumors that then the city council was planning on organizing itself.
Makes sense to me, but yeah.
We heard that of that organization, they were if the council organized itself, we heard that Tom Tunney would potentially be the finance chairman, with Chairman Austin remaining the budget chair, and Anthony Bill potentially taking over as the chairman of workforce development, if the council was to organize. Now, there are also rumors that Scott Wagaspack, Northside, I believe 32nd Ward Alderman, would like to be the finance chair and has wrangled 25 of the 26 votes, is what he's saying.
Wow.
But Todd, it's still not 26.
Right, it's not 26.
And Alderman Beal has been pretty clear that if Mayor Lightfoot moves to put Scott Wagaspack, her choice, which generally the mayor has always been given their choices of the committees.
Right.
That the council.
I would say most people didn't even know the council could organize themselves.
I didn't know it either until they started talking about this.
I was in the council.
And I didn't know how to organize.
But it made sense because everything is done in the rules, and the council is who votes on the rules.
And so, Todd, now here we stand. Mayor Lightfoot at a crossroads. Black Chicago, what does the city council do? Does she have a mandate? Will she be able to rule? Now, she's already saying, Todd, that she will issue an executive order day one ending aldermanic prerogative.
You know that doesn't mean a thing, right?
Right, it don't mean a thing if you ain't got that swing.
Because all zoning issues go through the council. They can always talk to each other and say, they can always stand up on the floor and say, I don't like this, this isn't good for my ward. And if you can get 26 people to go with them, that's actually what automatic prerogative is.
And so, again, I wonder, is Mayor Lightfoot prepared? Does she have the legislative chops to take on the city council, Todd?
We'll see who our people are. I don't know who our people are. When you have really smart people, people get afraid quickly. Once you got, I'm trying to think who was a smart person behind the scenes. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. Well, let's say once you got your own, you got Tim Degnan and Jeremiah Joyce with you.
Woohoo!
You know, people fall in line.
Did
like,
you say his name on the radio? I ain't say that. I'm just saying.
Well, no, those guys were like the brain trust behind the daily routine. Nothing wrong with saying everybody knows them who's in politics.
Man, you see, Tim, let me tell you, I still call him Mr. Degnan. I call him Mr. Degnan and Mr. Joyce. I give him all that respect, but like I'm gonna tell you, see, that brain trust, that you hear all these things I talk about. It's like, who is that? There are people on the white team that sit down and think like that, and they say this is how we execute. On the black team, we'd be like, can you give me some more seeds?
Well, isn't that what we complain about with the Prewinkle administration? That there's just not enough people who understand how to wiggle through this political game?
Todd, it's so true, but it seems as though the ones that know how to wiggle through it, that would be the assassins. They say, sit on the bench. You're too, you make black people too uncomfortable. Todd, it's like we gotta make white people uncomfortable. Huh?
Fear of a black man.
Right, man. I'm saying there's no one to fear. We saw last night on the Game of Thrones. Did you watch Game of Thrones last night?
No, I'm not watching in the middle of the 8th season.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you.
Even though I did see somebody said something about you can't let those dragons run wild. But that's all I know.
Well, I'm going to tell you. We don't have we don't have any dragons. It's like, and it seems like every time the dragon starts to breed, then the black folks want to be the dragon slayers instead of riding the dragon to burn up the enemies. Todd, I am concerned that black folks going into this election, going into this new mayor's situation, we're going to be more disorganized than ever. Because now the council doesn't know where they're going. They seem to be rudderless. I also want to be clear that Mayor Lightfoot, not Mayor Lightfoot, but I traffic in rumor and innuendo. But people are telling me that part of the reason of her hesitance to make appointments is because she's still waiting on the federal indictments, which
I can understand that.
Have now apparently made their way into the black community. I told you that there was only one way that this stuff would get into the black community. Apparently I was wrong. Yeah, we got to pay attention. There's so much going on right now. When we come back, give us a call, 312-374-8130. I want to know, what will black people hold Mayor Lightfoot accountable for, as well as how will this play out between the city council and the mayor? Who should rule the roost? We'll talk about it when we come back. Traffic and weather's next.
Morning show.
Todd, you got the camera.
In some areas, not here. So yeah, in some places, not here, they have the council gets a president. And they run the meeting instead of the mayor. The mayor would be more like the CEO. The council president would be the chairman of the board and run the meeting. Similar to the strong, weak mayor thing, but not quite the same. Because if you have the numbers, you can always bring something up. So the chairman, depending on how the rules are formed, but I think this is how it works in the city. So the chairman calls ordinances as such. But even if he didn't call it, if you have enough votes, you can get it discharged from the committee and brought to the floor and vote on it. And that's where the group's power comes from. They can move things without the mayor's approval and pass it without it. But they gotta know they got that power.
How much time?
But on the other hand,
How many?
what you're really looking for is you're looking for the mayor, because the mayor's got
Do I got any calls?
tons of people who can work on issues. You're looking for them to work on that issue and tell you how they're going to do what they're going to do, where they're getting the money
50.
from. Where
It's
gonna
50, they
affect.
need to get 26 to get over the top.
And then you decide, as the councilman, if you're going to support that issue. That's supposed to be division of power. But it's not who rules. You got to rule together. You got to do this together. Everybody has a vote, and the aldermen ought to know that and use that. And you know, everybody's got their own interests. Some people need more things than others. I mean, their issue in the 43rd ward, which I believe is like Lincoln Park, is going to be different than the issue in the 8th ward, which is Avalon. So, you know, everybody's not out for the same thing. And the biggest thing, I can tell you from experience, the biggest thing is always the budget. How do you pass the budget? How do you get the money to run government? And the city was approximately twice as big as the county. And just like the county, they need to infuse revenue in there because people get raises and all that. The salaries increase, utility costs increase. So you're gonna have to need new revenue. So the most important thing for the executive
Close the door.
is passing that budget every year. However do you want me? However do you want me? However do you need me? Whatever do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? Do you need me? Do you need me? However do you need me?
You are tuned in to the Top of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my man, Ty Stroger, in the building. And we are talking you know what we were talking about? Accountability. Will Black
No, we're
Chicago...
talking about how do you need me? That's what the alderman got to ask. How do you need me, and how will my backing you affect my area?
So, let me ask you a question, Ty. It seems to me that people have pledged allegiance to the mayor-elect
I don't like doing that.
without any demand.
There you go. There's the problem.
It's like when I see people say, I'm with you, I'll be with you, without saying for what
Hello.
or why, then it makes people think that, Todd, I am not sure how to deal with this because I feel as though the people's allegiance, the elected's allegiance should not be to the mayor and accomplishing the mayor's agenda. It should be accomplishing their agenda in their community. And if their support of the mayor allows them to do that, then they will do it. But I don't feel like we should pledge our support to anybody. I don't think that Lori Lightfoot should feel like when she says that I won by a mandate and I won in every ward plus 50, my man Tom Seraphim reminded me, he was like, man, there's 1.5 million voters in the city. Like a lot of people just checked out.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a mandate of the people who voted. But what do we get out of it? before we pledge any loyalty or any accountability, right? I mean, before we pledge any loyalty, before we say what committees, what we gonna support, she does. And it even seems to me like when I see all of these people trying to prove to her what they can do, it seems to me like she gotta prove to us what she gonna do.
It's a two-edged sword.
Break it down for me, brother, because I'm starting to get confused.
No. I mean, it's just like this, a two-edged sword. You don't, because you are an elected official. You don't just say, I'll do whatever you say, without them saying from the other side, look, this is what I will do. This is why you should support me, and why we'll be on the same side on our issues. Other than that, you're just like, okay, if you're gonna take me down a dark road, if we get jumped by Jason, that's fine. I'm just gonna follow you. No, you don't want that.
Right. Todd, I know I'm crazy, but I really want to understand who is asking about black people. No, I mean, I'm serious as a heart attack. Who is the chairman of the Black Caucus? I think they're putting that up for Todd. But who is the person that when we watch the city council meetings, we know that person got us? That's the person that said, oh no, right here on the paper, Madam Mayor. It say right here on every project, right? It says on every project, you are going to give us 35% to the black people. I don't care what you said to the brown people. I don't care what you said to the Asian people. I don't care what you said to LGBT. What is in it for the black people?
You are absolutely correct. And once you do that, and you put it out in the light, then they actually have to respond and be more accountable.
And that doesn't mean that they get to go to the contract, scratch off 2 numbers, rewrite 2 numbers, and then say, okay, it's all good now. It does not mean that you know what somebody told me the other day? They said, Maze, that wasn't it for the black people. This white guy. That wasn't it for the black people thing you ask about. That is so unique because everybody, when the black people come to the table, now, they don't. Most of the black people at the table aren't asking for black people. They are asking what's in it for me.
Yes.
And you know they try to blame that. They try to throw that tag on me because I'm kind of messing up the game. See, what's happened, Todd, is when you keep asking, and black people are now starting to say, "Well, wait a minute, what did we get out of that?" And then you see all the people that's been telling you we've been getting our butts kicked, but they get quiet. Then you be like, "Well, what happened to all the people that was fighting what happened to the people that be shutting down all the way?" So you mean to tell me that nobody is shutting down, nobody got a problem now with none of these billions of dollars? What happened? What? See? Let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Brother Ball. Brother Ball, line 4, you on Talk Chicago.
My man, good morning, dear. Todd.
Yes, sir.
We need Todd. We need Todd, man. What's going to stop Lori Lightfoot from doing a Khaleesi and letting us all up? We've been going along to get along for a long time. That's what Todd just broke down when he said the double-edged sword. So you gotta bite the chicken to taste the hot sauce and mild sauce. So what you know what I'm saying? What's going on? Who we got as a buffer? We need some serious buffers, or just put one of them big speed blocks in the middle of the street. You know what I'm saying? To slow the pace down.
Right.
Because nobody is outraged at what Rahm Emanuel did before he got out of office. And that's a crime, and it's a shame, bro.
Man, thank you, Brother Ball. No lollipops. Let's go to Frank. Frank, you want to talk Chicago?
Good morning, brother, man.
Good morning, Brother Frank.
How y'all doing?
All right.
Hey, listen, as an everyday listener and a voter of hers, I want to see her come back on this show once a month and take calls from listeners so I can suggest to her that I want to see a law passed for her in the city council that all homes owners and apartment owners, you must install a video surveillance system that will protect the outside area of your home and on the front and the back. Okay? To catch these perpetrators. We don't need systems with that. I want to see her make a bold move to stop this violence in our community and flood our street with police officers, put us on a police state. It's not the answer. I want her to come on back on the show and talk to us. Let's talk to her. We are the buffer to her. I'm tired of being the dog being wagged by the tail.
Thank you, Brother Frank. I'm gonna tell you, it is we're gonna continue this conversation when we come back. It's the Talk Chicago 1690. Lori Lightfoot, Black Chicago, Chicago City Council. Who is accountable? Like, who is essentially accountable, and who is asking the question, Todd, what's in it for the black people? I'm gonna tell you. So the white guy told me, he said, Maze, you keep sticking with that, because the only people, when we get to the table, it's like I see the same 20 people asking for themselves, but they don't ask for the community. And look at your community now. And so right now, before anybody pledges any allegiance, I know y'all voted, your votes are over, the election is done, but can we at least, before we get on anybody's team, get something out of it? It's the Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back after traffic, news, and the weather.
The Talk of Chicago and the voice
right,
of the
Todd.
nation.
So, Todd,
WVON.
help me understand, why are people pledging their allegiance to her if they haven't gotten anything from it?
It is that same thing. Well, it's about power. I don't watch Game of Thrones, but I'm guessing pretty much that whoever's in charge, people rush over to be on that team without saying, I need this first, and it's all because they want to be with the person they think is going to be making all the decisions and the rules. And so they end up always working from a point of not strength but weakness, because they've already given up what little they had to get curry favor. I knew a guy who, when we were in the House, they say, every once in a while I'd vote on the other side of what the speaker wanted, and there would be some kind of punishment. In essence, he would not do what you asked, wouldn't return your call, or whatever it may be. But in the end, he would have to come back to you again. So the problem has always been with the city council is, well, there's two things. I will say the Mayor Daley, because it's all about the image of power, Mayor Daley always made sure that his staff would talk to the aldermen beforehand, find out what their problems and issues were, and fix it behind closed doors. They wouldn't put anything out until they knew they were going to get 26 votes. So when people always talk about they voted with the mayor 90, 80, 100%, that's because the mayor wanted it that way. He didn't want to appear like people were ever against what he was doing. But I've always said, if you are a councilman or a rep or a senator, it always is better for you to show people that, no, this person isn't omnipotent. He needs us too. You really do yourself a disfavor by putting all the power in one person's hands. That's my theory. You don't, once you know I'm always with you, you don't have to treat me well anymore. You just have to appease me a little bit, but you don't have to ever really give me anything. And that's where black people find themselves. Always voting for stuff. We also find ourselves as the group that, well, they have to vote for this because their people need it. So, you end up being the person who has to take the hard votes because, well, your people aren't doing well, so you have to take the hard votes. Well, in essence, and if you don't, then everybody calls you out, even the black people. So it's tough for the black elected officials, I will say that, because they don't have the same backing that would say, look, if you give me a good reason why you didn't do this, I understand it, and I will be with you. I saw that happen in Springfield. Everybody expects you to vote for every tax increase, but it's like, well, we're voting for the tax increase, but in the rest of the budget, it's like this 78. But in the rest of the budget, you're doing this gigantic project in an area that doesn't really need a gigantic project. It's really like, well, you know what, all the white people who have education are down this way, so we're going to put the project there. Instead of, we'll put a project here in an area where we say, wait, the people will have to drive to get to, and the people in the surrounding area who aren't, your majority will have to, will be able to get some jobs out of this and not have to drive to Schaumburg or something like that. But, you know, our neighborhoods are undercapitalized, and we are looked at as dangerous. And then we got young people running around proving that it's dangerous out there for people. We're fighting on so many different fronts. It doesn't seem like we're winning on any of them right now. But it's all about, I say it all the time, it's about being organized, having a plan, and working the plan. I think that's the biggest thing. The caucus needs somebody to create a plan for them that can be delivered to businessmen who will agree that this plan will work if we can get the funding, and we will be behind it. And then you're working from a position of power.
Right.
And if you have to vote no on everything, then you vote no on everything. But what they do is they try to hold you accountable as an elected official for the failure of things, not the passage of things. If you held it back, well, it was his fault. He held it back.
I don't have a new thing.
I told him it was Mays. Hold back those 2 gigantic projects until you have a gigantic project in your area. You know,
I think it may be
what's the
over
use
with, Meg.
of having
Okay, that's
Wait a
fine.
minute, today's the 13th.
automatic prerogative if there's nothing of really
There you go.
of any true
And
impact
8:37.
that will change your area? So like a big project in the 9th ward would affect the 8th ward, the 10th ward, the 7th ward, the 31st ward, the 21st ward. It affects everybody. So that's what they should be looking at. Making sure that there is some money for a huge project somewhere back there that's gonna help everybody. It's like, it would be like Jesse Jackson Jr. talking about the 3rd airport. If there truly was a 3rd airport, it does make everything around it more valuable if it works and is profitable. Same thing with any major development. But you gotta think bigger. You gotta think bigger than just you in your next election. And who's gonna beat you up? Because every election, somebody's gonna beat you up about something. A lady got hit and killed at a bus stop off of 95th and Stony. The opposition to the alderman at the time, they were like, it's her fault. People are gonna say everything's your fault. They were building a senior building. That became an issue in the campaign, even though it wasn't truly an issue. Oh, the senior building, oh, there's gonna be, and it's amazing what people say. There's gonna be poor people in there, and because of that, there's gonna be poor people driving around and stealing from us because we got things. So you get all kind of stuff. People will say whatever they can to get people to the other side. It doesn't mean that they have any point. But if you got a strong position and you stick to it, then you're gonna withstand it.
Rise and
Oh,
shine
oh,
with the
oh.
WVON Morning Show.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Featuring Maze Jackson.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
The WVON Morning Show.
You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Top of the hour, gotta say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to my man, Todd Stroger. He is my co-host. Gotta say what's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom, as well as Miss Sonia Tompkins and Sonia Escobar, the musical conductor of the Soul Plane. They make up the Wonder Twins. Todd, we are talking about accountability, city council.
I gotta say that blues song, I felt that way sometimes in the last 10 years. Give me the last $2.
Man, I'm gonna tell y'all, it is. These last $2, it seems like black folks been on that last $2. I feel like I've been there. I seem like, you know what, the party tried to put me down to my last $2. I tried to stand up for black folks. They said, stand up, we gonna break you down. But we still standing. I'm still standing. Yeah. But, Todd, it is now, how long will the black community continue to stand? You know, we're dropping to number 4 on the census, so we will no longer be the 3rd largest city. We'll be 4th after Houston. Speaking of Houston, black people are moving to Houston nonstop. They're going south. They're going to Texas.
Well, isn't that what you and Tom were saying yesterday, that the middle class is like, oh, time to go? And there's 2 Chicagos. There's rich, there's poor, and the middle is getting smaller and smaller as everybody flees.
Yeah, and so, wow, Todd, I am telling you, I have seen Mayor Lightfoot. You know, Mayor Lightfoot rolling through the black community is like a returning victor's parade. Like, they throwing flowers and roses, people popping bottles of champagne. It's like it's all good around here. And I feel like, no. Hold up. It's like, and part of what I feel like is the problem is that the people that have the ability to get the attention were on Team Tony. Mm-hmm. And so now they might be in a situation where they may not be, for the first time in their lives, they may not be in the good graces of the mayor. Because, say for instance, if you was down with Mayor Daley, when Mayor Daley went away and Rahm Emanuel, all of those same people just transferred over. And then now, and it was like it was always safe to be with the mayor, and as long as you just didn't make too much noise, black folks was going to vote with the establishment, with the party. And now it's not that way. And so now you got a whole bunch of people having parties and trying to be like, hey, I'm still good. Here's what I could do for you. But I feel as though, who is saying, no, Madam Mayor, this is what you got to do for us? I feel like people are lining up and being like, it's all good for Lori Lightfoot. And I'm not suggesting that she shouldn't come to me, but I feel like she coming to black community. It should be stone face. We've been burned up for a long time around these parts. It ain't been all good. And I feel like we are, you know how like when Mayor Daley used to come to town, come to your neighborhood, and the ward soup and everybody get outside and clean up, they'd be like, what route is he taking?
Oh, yeah.
And then they'd be like, is he taking this route? He's going to get off of what? And I promise you, they would cut every grass and line up everything, and they would veil the community. And then wherever he went to, it was like a primrose path.
But you know that wasn't the ward soup. That would be the greater organization.
The greater organization.
Streets and Sand organization.
Oh, right, Streets and Sand.
Yeah.
Because at a certain point, he didn't have to worry about the ward organization. Right? Because he had already, Streets and Sand was to his other people. And he was like, so anyway, Todd, I'm concerned that based on her reception in the community, Mayor Lightfoot might feel like it's all good in the black community and people are happy. And like, we really enjoy this state of affairs that we in.
Well, you said that she stated to some black people prominence that there's blood in the streets. So she realizes there's a problem, and she realizes that for a solution, they need to be a part of it.
But my question is, do they realize? But it seems like they don't realize. Like, if she at the party and she telling y'all know y'all got a fire outside. It's like a fire. Y'all having a party in here, but it's a fire outside. Are we being represented? What are they presenting to her? What do they say? When people talk to her, I see so many selfies and so many pictures, and I think the goal is to have a relationship. Right? Which to an extent, yes. But what is the relationship? The relationship, here y'all go with them selfies again. Here y'all go. Everybody got a selfie with the mayor-elect. Somebody show me a selfie with the new bag. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Ronald. Ronald on line 2, you're on Talk Chicago.
Hey, how you doing there?
What's up, my brother?
Come on. My thing is that she won the election against the party. So the bottom line is she doesn't really have to prove nothing to them. They have to prove to her, because if you notice, Austin is already begging for her job. What's going to happen is you're going to see a lot of black aldermen losing their position because they done nothing for the community. And see, why they thinking everything is all good and gravy, I'm telling you, watch what happens. You know.
Okay, I expect some shakeups, because I think, what do they say, Ty? Elections have consequences.
That's true.
And
I agree with you too. There's always going to be something with a new person where they have to feel like they got to do something different.
They got to do something different, and elections have consequences. And I feel as though this goes back to me saying, why were our people leading us down this path? Y'all knew Preckwinkle was not winning, and so instead of getting more people on the side of the boat that was winning, that could throw life rafts on the other side, we just said, let's load up this side of the boat and throw bombs and rocks. Remember, I was like, why are y'all letting these people, who was the smart person to say, let's put these flyers out? Who was the smart person that as the ship is going down, you say, let's burn every bridge across? And now the people with the access, with the power, with the money, they can build a new bridge. Meanwhile, we all still trying to figure out what the people who voted.
You got to remember there's a certain amount of everything that has to go to black people. So,
same black people trying to get it again.
Well, that's my point. There's such a small group of people, as you know that word, capacity, who have the capacity. They just fit right in.
So again, if we know that we have a capacity problem, with the exception of a few people,
yes,
and the few people are the people that are throwing the parties, and the rest of us are sitting outside in the cold, do you think they're going to be presenting capacity building, or they're going to present, let me keep what I got because I got the capacity to do what you need? See, again, who is holding her accountable, and to what? And to what standards? We've seen the same stuff go over and over and over and over and over again. And what I feel is happening right now is people are trying to they want to be like, forget that I was over here on this side doing all of this stuff. I'm with you now, boss. And I'm saying, when do people say I'm gonna be with the black people first? Like, you black people that chose Preckwinkle, like, I think they understand that you weren't with them. And so now your solace is not being with the people that you tried to attack. The solace is being with the people who you represent. See, it seems like the people, once again, everybody's trying to realign with the leadership instead of realign with the politician, not the people who make the politicians. Am I crazy? Todd, you think I'm crazy?
No, I don't think you're crazy.
I mean,
maybe crazy like a fox.
Why are we pledging our allegiance to anybody without a demand? Without knowing what we're gonna get, so that you can say what you got. You know what? I would stand with you if you told me why I should. Look, if you're gonna be the boss of the black people, you got to do something for the black people. Right? You got to do something for the black people.
Got to be the boss of something. If you're gonna be the boss.
If you're gonna be the boss. Look, we'll talk about it more when we come back. And I'll take your calls. Talk Chicago 1690.
More of the morning show with
yeah.
I mean, when you pledge your allegiance to the flag of the Rainbow States of America, and you, I no shade. Still standing. So, who black gets the spots? What up, Deborah? Did y'all take a moment and share the broadcast today? Have y'all shared the broadcast with your friends and your family? Share the broadcast. Share it in your groups. Don't miss the What's in It for the Black People fundraiser on Thursday. Are you all coming? We'll have the Cash App back cracking today. I'll put the Cash App number out. Take a moment. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. I don't need to know Alliance. Just put their names if they still there. Just tell me.
Well, we need to. Okay, I'll do that.
You just
We
tell me
need to
people
know.
that's up there. You can tell me people name. All you gotta do for me is list names that's still alive.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do now. Make sure I got everything. Get all
Take a moment, share the broadcast. Todd is wanting to talk to you all guys. He wants to help you understand. I want to be somebody's political assassin. Like I want to be the brain trust.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think Mays is right. You gotta have somebody who, one of these aldermen need a aggressive brain trust who is more about moving forward than maintaining. And I think that's been our biggest problem. We since we've been free, we've been more in a maintain mode than moving forward in our elective front. And, you know,
Look at your email.
we're always afraid of the leader. And,
For your promo.
you know, for the last 25 and then these last 8 years or something, it was Daley and Emmanuel. And everyone's always been afraid to get in their path and demand certain things, or you would get crushed. But that's because, like, yeah, Mayor Daley had, it's like, this is good for Chicago, so you need to go along. But you know how it is. Our neighborhood, you could do something somewhere else, it's not affecting us, not in a real sense. And if good for Chicago just means that they did our streets, there's something wrong. We need bigger, but we need, I think Mace and I talked about this before, some time ago. You need a brain trust that comes up with ideas, gives to the elected officials, and the elected officials try to make it happen. It's like that group ALEC. ALEC wrote legislation, and then they gave it to every state house in the nation, and they got a lot of things changed. Not always for the betterment of black folks, that's for sure. The Heartland Institute, they're always coming up with some kind of policy issues that they're pushing as a conservative effort.
Hit that for me, man.
Who is making up things that are feasible?
Man, that third airport don't do nothing for me. Well, the third airport should be a shipping airport, and they need to find somebody to pay for it.
Which would be great, because it still would create jobs opportunities. Nothing at all, except when you fall. Dining. But me, you don't ask. If you were my woman, if you were my woman, if you were my woman,
yes, I do.
what you do, what you do, what you do.
I never, no, stop loving you.
Ooh, yeah.
You are tuned in to Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. That person singing in the background is not one of the pimps. Oh, excuse me, the pimps. It is former Cook County Board President Todd Stroger. Todd, Patrick Brutus wants to know, do you ever disagree with me?
Yes, I disagree with you. I disagree with you wholeheartedly about a lot of stuff. Mostly it's blue and white and black and old gold stuff. But I don't always agree with Mace.
But I think
But Maze is right. When we talk politics and true politics, we're almost always going to be on the same side because we truly want the same thing, and we want our black elected officials to act like they're powerful. We want them to have a plan. We want them to work on that plan and make it happen.
And I want them to stop.
I think I can speak for you in this.
Thank you. I think you can, and I think that I want them to stop looking at us as the enemy, and look at us as a sword. Like I'm telling you,
this is exactly that reminds me. This, and I think I probably said this before. That's what always bothered me when the independents would attack my dad. They would attack him so feverishly that they literally were trying to get in his way of accomplishing things. And it's all right to have your group and he have his group if you're all working for the same thing. But if you completely destroy somebody who's doing something, then you're not doing yourself any good.
Right. It's like one person is inside.
It's a pirate victory.
Haha, you got it. There it is. You know, Slasher Bird. Let's go to the phone lines though, because I don't know if there's any accountability in what's going on. Let's go to Harold. Harold, Jonah Talk Chicago, 1690. Y'all know I'm operating blind right now, so I don't have a call screen. I don't know what they talking about. I'm just taking the calls. So we're gonna go to Harold.
Hey, gentlemen.
Gentlemen. Good morning, Harold. How are you this morning?
I'm fine. We see Mayor-elect Lori Lightfoot as being extremely clever and moving in stealth in regard to the change in the balance of power that's imminently about to happen in Chicago City Council. She begins with the 16 new people that came into the council. I don't think they're going to oppose her necessarily. And she got to get 10 more to get 26. But I think that her approach is going to be to the masses of the dry bones and of African Americans who've been left out of the political power pie, who didn't vote in the last election and then came out reluctantly in the runoff as the lesser of two evils, right? And then we had that campaign also, you remember that, to retain Tony in her position and have both these powerful women in office, and that campaign was fairly effective down the stretch too. But I think it's all playing out, and I want to thank Dorothy LaBelle for this fabulous front page story that showed the sycophants and the gatekeepers in the black community around the Chicago press issue, right? The black press issue. But here's the question I'd like to see the alderman, the new mayor, and all the aldermen in the city council address. What is the benefit of global tourism to re-gentrifying inner city African American communities in Chicago as we speak? And I'll end with that. Y'all have a blessed morning, gentlemen.
Thank you, Harold. What? We made it out of there with no Uncle Tom's, no plantations, none of that.
Ooh,
Thank you. Thank you, Harold. Let's go to Socks. Socks, you want to talk Chicago, 1690. Socks, you want to talk Chicago, line 4?
Good morning, Brother Mary.
Good morning. How are you?
Hey, man, let's, I'm going to just hit us with this real quick, like, especially my mighty black race out there, man. I love you like God love me. But you know we got to wake up out this twilight zone we in. You already know what's in it for the black people. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like this. It's like this. You know, we got too many robotic Negroes out here selling their soul for a Tootsie Roll. Too many sellouts. And at the same time, you know, it's like we need leaders in black leaders that's not in love for the money, but that's in love, you know, that will be in love for the people. We need black leaders that's not in love for the publicity, but in love that, you know, that's in love with humility. So I say this to say that, no doubt, no fear. What would you do if you weren't afraid? It's time to take back what is ours. Stay prayed up, my people.
Man, thank you, Socks. I appreciate you, my brother. All right, let's go to Sel. You on the Talk Chicago, 1690.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Sel.
There is something available to us. Unlike the brother, no disrespect to him, just said there's nothing in it for us. There is something for us, providing that we're willing to demand it. Made out of all due respect, I took exception to your proclamation when you first started using what's in it for the black folk, by saying that if I were white and approached with that question, I would ask, what do black folk want? That's the position that we're taking. I mean, we meaning the Black Star Project and the Red, Black, Green, and Green. We're not going in asking Lori Lightfoot what's in it for the black folks in terms of having a clean community, we're going in with a comprehensive plan that has never been used as a way of, one, deterring crime, reducing stress, adding to self-respect, self-esteem, adding to property values, encouraging our dignity, encouraging economic development. We're not just talking about picking up trash and debris, we're talking about changing the mindset. And we're using it from a standpoint of showing them this is what's in it for us, but also for everybody else. Regardless, whatever differences our people might have, I know this is one common denominator they cannot deny. Whatever they're proposing for their respective wards, meaning our aldermen, having a clean environment to encourage that work. It's been proven, it's there, it can be done. Now I want you on board with this, Nate.
So we got.
So is you, Ty.
So I'm. You know what? Sel has been on the mission of keeping our communities clean since I met him, since I first got this job, and he has been dead set on it. Y'all, I think that is one of our solutions. Cause I'm gonna tell you, when you drive through the expressway on the south side, it is ridiculous when you look at what you see.
No,
and then you get up north and you be like, wait, what? Did they just take it all and dump? Look, y'all, when we come back, we're going to talk about a chance for you to win $25,000. Plus, we'll take the rest of your phone calls. It's the WVON Morning Show. And don't forget, we got the Res University health. We're going to health tip. We'll be back.
Live from the WVON newsroom, here's our news now.
Yeah.
Clouds are.
Oh, God. Oh!
I apologize. I forgot about your 25. Your guest for 8:30. It's that 25,000 grant. They're here now.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
You mean they're here?
Yeah.
Is there more than one?
What's there? It should be what's
Okay.
it should be one person.
It is.
Oh,
I should've
Lisa.
said- Yeah, Lisa. Yep.
Lisa Cooper.
Yep, she's here now.
She's a CG row.
Who you want her to
Singing
speak?
the Gamma Row is the only way to go.
Todd, yeah, scoot over just another half, and then yep, Todd, if you scoot over. No, Todd, come this way. No, Sonya. Nah, Sonya, you wait. This is the one I want. All right. Okay, we'll do it like that. I just want to get both of y'all. Actually, nah, I'm gonna just leave it. I'll just switch
I
y'all.
want to give her this one, and I'll take this. That's right for her.
All right, y'all. Take a moment, share the broadcast.
I'll never. No.
Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, Tobacco Road tonight. Tobacco Road Foundation, I'm getting the Media Impact Award. Shout out to Jim Leader Tillman.
All right, you have two. You got one from the blog. You have
come on.
I got two.
Yeah. And then,
Yeah, and the email had too. I wanted to bring you somebody who got some money before.
Okay.
He working with the kids
Okay.
on the west side.
How you doing, bro? Maze Jackson. Nice
That
to
was
meet
in
you.
the email, but. Hello.
Hello. Good morning. Is it Janelle?
Jamal.
Okay. Have a seat here. Is his name in the? Okay. All right.
Oh, it was in the email.
Oh man, I don't read emails over the weekend.
Yeah, I got a copy right here. I'll put you right in front of you.
Well, I like you.
Maze know how I am. I might have to underline it so you see it better. I'm gonna circle his name. You see it? I put a circle around it, Jamal Cannon. Maze, we just want people to know that this opportunity is out here so that they can apply. The more I can get in the pipeline, hopefully the more grants we can get made in Chicago.
How many did we get?
Okay.
Two. That's It's only 40. You can have that tied.
So it's 25,000 per or total?
No, so they're $25,000 grants, so it's $1 million.
Okay. And it's across the country?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the block was one of the ones that won last year. But we've had others, like Growing Home in Inglewood, the urban farm.
You did the boxing. What gym do you work at?
So we install boxing gyms in the schools so that kids can get boxing mentoring and tutor resources right where they go to school. So
Do you know Mike Joyce?
I don't know Mike Joyce.
He loves some boxing.
Man, Mike Joyce, we'll connect you with Mike Joyce, Mr. So Mike Joyce is the preeminent boxing guy here. He used to manage Mike Tyson and runs the boxing program at Leo in the Park District and with the state's attorney's office. He'll be a good person. He does a lot of work with a lot of the matter of fact.
Thank you, Maze. That's what I need him to get support. Because you're in 2 schools now, right?
Write this number down.
And we want him to be able to work with more kids.
And tell him I told you to call.
All right. Appreciate that.
Follow up with him too and tell him.
Absolutely.
What up, Pick? If you watching, I know I owe you a call. I'll talk to you today.
You don't have no jokes about me being in red and white.
Nah, you know what?
I wear team colors. I'm blue and gold, though.
Yes,
She is CG. She's a CG roll.
Here we
See,
go.
cause see.
If you want
now,
to see
look,
us roll in the
yeah,
floor.
look. See, now, I'ma tell you, don't make me. We got
roll on
history.
the floor like siblings.
We got history.
There's no me too about it.
We got history.
Like siblings.
I had the, yeah, we got history. We go way, way,
I told him
way
about the
back.
kidnapping incident.
Somebody was talking about that the other day. Somebody you was talking to.
You know what?
I don't know. Okay.
I was like, I can't tell the story to everybody, but I'm gonna tell you.
I am. Yes, yes, yes.
We had fun in college. That's all I can say.
Oh, you were
At U of I.
you were glad together, huh? Yeah.
I used to live over there in your ward. I'm not there anymore. Well, we still had that property in the family, but I'm not there anymore.
Oh yeah, where were you?
On Euclid.
Oh, on Euclid, yeah.
Down from Marlowe. Around the corner from Michelle.
That's what's wrong.
Good to go?
No, you should be there. You should be over here. Hey, what's wrong here? Can you? Yeah, now I'm on tangle. That's what I was really trying to do, was trying to get you over closer. Wait a minute. Let's be smart.
Pull it out. There we go.
Y'all ready?
This is your.
Can you hear anything?
No?
Oh, there we go. Yep.
All right. Wait. No, you handle this, or I'll have you.
You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690. And hey, y'all, did you know May is Health Awareness Month? Did you know a brisk walk, aerobics, or just about any kind of bodily movement can do wonders for your health? This healthy tip is brought to you by Resurrection University. See what Res U can do for you. Start your career now at Resurrection University. Resurrection University, it is May Health Awareness Month. And speaking of resurrections, you know what? This is I'm resurrecting some old school memories and relationships. Check it out. You like how I did that. You saw that transition, right? Back in you know what? I'm not going to even do it. But back in the no, when the world failed, let me stop because I got friends. You know what? I come from a very unique experience, and I went to the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Where the creme de la creme, the cream of the crop.
That's right.
You know, ILL.
I-N-I.
In the building, right? But I went to the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, and I'm going to tell you that we had our own HBCU experience at U of I. No, we were not. There were only 1,000 blacks out of 36,000. And so you can imagine that even as much as we fought,
each and every one of them.
we knew each and every one of them, and we was in all our business. I don't know how we did it, really. You know what? But what happens is you develop lifelong friendships with people. And as we have gone and grown and gone our separate ways, or I don't want to say separate ways, but grown and really expanded, sometimes you don't realize, like when you know people as college and they grow up and you kind of like, you still see them, you always be like, hey, what's up? And you remember them from that point in which you all departed each other. You kind of have them frozen in time until you have an epiphany, or until you have a moment where you recognize that, hey, I know some important people. And so when I found out that, you know me, I always want the answer to what's in it for the black people. And so whenever I find someone that is providing an answer to it, I try to make sure that I bring it to the WVON listening family. But it's always more meaningful when it's someone that you know. When it's someone that you may have known back when you weren't fully developed, when you was a different person, when you was trying to find yourself, and then to see them when they find themselves, or we find ourselves, and we find ourselves out here working hard on behalf of our community. One of those people, I'm going to this long wind up to welcome to the WVON morning show someone who's been a friend of mine since I was at least 19 years old. It is Miss Lisa. I didn't know your middle name was LaDonna. Lisa LaDonna Cooper. Lisa LaDonna Cooper. But Lisa Cooper she's with State Farm, and she's here today to talk to us about over $1 million in grants, but how she wants to make sure that our listeners apply, because she's giving them away in Chicago, but she wants to make sure more get given away. And she's brought with her Mr. Now, did I say it? Jamile?
You got it. You nailed it.
I got it. Jamile Cannon, who is with Block Chicago. We'll introduce him in a minute. But first, let me introduce to you all my good friend, Lisa Cooper. Lisa, welcome to the WVON Morning Show.
Good morning, Maze. Thank you for having me. We certainly appreciate you and your platform. You said it. I have the wonderful, awesome responsibility of doing community work for State Farm here in the Chicagoland area. And State Farm has a grant program called Neighborhood Assist. That program will be opening up on June the 5th, the application period. But I wanted to get the word out now so people can start working on their applications. There are 3 simple questions. We have them posted online. My recommendation is to answer those questions about something that you want to see supported in your community. What is an issue in your community that needs to be addressed that you can help find the solution to? What nonprofit can you work with to make this come to a reality? And apply for this grant. It's $25,000. Normally our grants aren't that large just for one organization. So this is a big deal. And usually I have we only give out 40 nationwide, so that's not even 1 per state, right? Usually I have 2 to 3 every year, and the Block was one of those organizations last year.
Now, see, I'm going to tell y'all, because I'll be like, this stuff is suspect. Suspect.
That's what brought you proof.
But you know what? So it's 2 things, right? You got credibility. So when my girl Lisa says, okay, we giving out this money, I'm like, okay, because it's you. I trust you. But I never think that anybody I know or anybody we know is going to ever win the money. And I always be like, man, I'm not filling that out because you're not going to win. You're not going to win. Well, Lisa putting her money where her mouth is brought Jamile Cannon with us. Jamile, you are with Block Chicago. Now, exactly what is Block Chicago and what do you solve? What problem do you solve?
So the Block brings in young people with the sport of boxing, to them up with mentors, tutoring, and resources that they need to move on to the next level. So a kid can come to us to learn how to fight, but really end up learning how to fight for their success and improving their daily lives. We do have a couple Golden Glove champions in the Block. We also have a 100% high school graduation rate, a 100% college acceptance rate, and we really use the sport to push young people to be the best version of themselves.
All right, now you're a boxer, man.
Right.
Now, I'm just saying, you're a boxer.
Right.
What makes a boxer say, aha, I'm going to fill out the State Farm grant. I mean, because I'm telling you, I'm always suspect of the whole process. I'd be like, I ain't going to ever win that. And you're a boxer, bro. What made you decide to do it?
And I agree with you. There are so many grants out there that almost replicate other systems of oppression and the things that they end up supporting, because you need to have so much going for you before you can even apply. But what I realized is that there's no such thing as being too small for this grant. That if we can rally the community behind us, then we can win the grant just as easily as a much larger nonprofit, because of the impact and the belief that the community has in us.
Now, how hard was the process? Lisa, tell me what the people have to do to get this.
So we are going to accept 2,000 grant applications, and then we have a scoring rubric where the top 200 scorers will then enter a voting phase. And once you get in the voting phase, that's where you got to use your grassroots network to get the votes. So he might be coming back to the den asking for support.
Oh, you're going to be asking the den for some support? Well, let me tell you what. So he can win again?
He can win again. You can only win twice, so he can apply again, and if he scores high enough into the top 200, he could possibly win again.
No, that's what I want you to do. I want you to tell people, how do they apply for this grant?
So go to statefarmneighborhoodassist.com, sfneighborhoodassist.com, and that's the website. You can start looking at the application questions. There are 3 simple questions. How much does this cost? Focus on an unmet need in your community. Why do you feel the $25,000 will address the unmet need? And how much of a lasting impact on this community would the grant have? 3 simple questions. Save that in a Word document. When the application goes live on June 5th, copy and paste. Copy and paste your 3 answers and hit submit. Last year, we got all 2,000 applications in the first 24 hours. So I am just really asking you to get that done today.
All right, now tell me, how do you all get people to vote on social media?
Yes.
Okay, so social media. You know what? I feel like I've seen this contest in the last couple of years. I've been seeing it a lot on social media. Now, Jamal, tell me what you did to get people to turn out to vote for you.
The first thing you have to realize is you can't do it by yourself. You know, I was the only person on staff at the time, only one, but I had to bring in 20 or 30 volunteers to be loud about us all the time. I couldn't try to joke my way through it. I had to realize that I got to be in people's inboxes. I have to be in the emails. I have to talk to parents, get them talking to people, going to churches, and going to the school meetings to get people to vote for us. So you can't do it by yourself. You need to bring a team around you. You really need to engage your community as supporters if you're going to come out with a victory.
Now, let me help me understand. What do you teach people in boxing, man? You teaching people how to fight, man. Actually, I think we need to go back to teaching people how to fight so they can stop shooting. But talk to me about
25 pounds over my fighting weight. Surprising.
Yeah, surprise. Where did you box that time?
Oh, I didn't box. But if I did, I'd probably be like 147, something like that.
I mean, you would be getting 147. You go, man. You see, I always think about.
Because you haven't seen those boxers. Those guys are tiny people.
Can I ask you a question? How much you weigh?
About 160. Right?
See, this is what happened. I'm always worried about going to I watch these boxing matches. I used to talk a lot of smack, right? I used to talk a lot of smack. I talk like the smack that would lead to altercations. But I've always been scared that one day I saw this dude that was 105 pounds. But boy, he could whoop somebody. I could imagine walking in the bar and being like, "What you say to me?" And the next thing you laid out. Tell me, what do you learn from boxing? What can people skills besides just fighting?
The first thing that I recognize about that story about you never know who you're running into is once you actually know how to fight, you don't have anything to prove. So that bravado that would get you into a street fight, you no longer need that anymore. But boxing forces you to confront all the things that are holding you back. If it's a lot of people are out there fighting because they're insecure, right, or they don't see a path for success to themselves. That's where a lot of the fighting and shooting comes from in this city. Is a lack of hope in the future and a lack of hope of what can be accomplished in their lives. So the first thing we're doing is instilling a sense of hope and showing kids that you can get better at this thing, and if you can get better at this thing, you can get better at other things. So we not only instill that confidence, instill a little bit more hope in young people, but we also give them the tools that they need to actually get better. It's not about inspiring and motivating young people. It's about actually giving them the tools that they need to be successful. So if you need a mentor, if you need a tutor, if you've never been on a college campus before, We're going to hook you up with those things so we can help push you forward.
How many children? How many young people in your program?
We work with 120 this past year.
Good Lord. All right. We got to make sure you connect with my man, Mike Joyce. Hey, yo, Pick, man. We see another boxer. You know, got to talk to all those guys. Look, when we come back, we're going to let y'all hang out with us. We're going to take a few more calls, but y'all can call over. You can stay with us for our close. All right? It's Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back after traffic and the weather. So some of y'all don't know that Lisa is also in the den. So she's in there talking smack to y'all, smack with y'all in the mornings. That is Lisa Cooper, right? So we all go way back. I tried to kidnap Lisa.
You gonna tell the story?
I'm gonna tell the story.
This back when it was legal.
But look, I tried to kidnap Lisa and Lily. They were pledging Sigma Gamma Rho at the time, and we was trying to. So I think it was me and Chauncey, and we was like, "Come over here." Look, we was trying to hook them up. We wasn't gonna even do nothing, cause real talk, like you won't really beat nobody up when you kidnap them unless they your own guys. But they was about to beat us with umbrellas, all types of stuff. They was not getting in the car. We was like, y'all can go ahead then. This ain't even worth it.
No, you gotta hear the story from my perspective. First of all, Lily got in the car and sat down in the front seat. I'm like, what are you doing? Our big sister said, don't get kidnapped. And so Chauncey was trying to get me in the back seat. And so Maze went around to the other side and he started pulling my legs. But I was too short I was trying to kick Maze, but I was too short. When Chauncey picked me up to put me in, I got close enough to kick Maze. And he was like, stop, she's kicking me, she's kicking me. They let us go, and we ran off, and they called later. We was just trying to for pizza.
Was I trying to kidnap you in one of your Soros cars, probably?
And yes, you was trying to kidnap us in our own Soros car, too. In a blue Toyota Camry or something, yes.
Gosh, it was a Geo
Prism. Geo Prism, a blue Geo Prism.
That's too funny.
How do you know you kidnapped in your own Soros car?
For you.
It was a break. We didn't know.
Yeah,
they didn't know at the time.
You don't want your Soros, your big sisters to get you because they
was right. So I had G-Mode. So we don't know. Pizza's at the end of this rainbow. We didn't know.
Right. We was on some because at the time, the Sigmas and the Sigma Gamma Rhos, all the bros was like the house bros all dated all the Sigma Gamma Rhos. And so we felt like their pledgees were like our sort of like our little sisters. Like we knew all the dirt about what was going on because after they got through it, well, anyway, so we knew what time it was. And man,
let's just say we were the first line after the moratorium, so we really caught it.
Right, we was the first line. We was the last line
above ground.
Last line to ever pledge above ground for all Black Greek letter organizations in the country.
And we were the first line after the moratorium on U of I's campus, so we caught
and the Sigma Gamma Rhos used to be brutal. Oh my God. They used to be brutal. Was it you and DeShace? Who else was?
Oh Lord. Well, DeShace was my pledge mom.
No, it was you and Lily, right?
Yes.
So I saw DeShace. DeShace was with. Who did she pledge with?
She pledged with Darvion and Kendra.
Okay, so I don't remember Kendra very much. I remember Darby. Yeah. Darby. Well, I still see Darby on every once in a while.
Kendra went back to St. Louis, so
okay.
Yeah.
You were a line of two?
We were. SS2 legit. And
Yeah.
people always go, did you all start with more and end up with two? We were always two. Yes.
What about you, man?
We started with 6. And we ended with 5.
See, that's the difference. That's going to a black university, even a small one. Like the AKAs, they had like 20 people.
Yeah.
Shit, I mean.
And the Qs at LSU, I don't know how they got. They had like 15 Qs online.
Yeah, I mean, but you go to like them HBCUs and them fools be having like let it be like the Deltas or something. They be like, it'll be like 75, 100. I'd be like, nah, tell me everybody's name and number. Tell me everybody how many birthdays you know.
Right. What's
That's
your
what.
mama name?
Right.
I know my
Undergrad, you be like, what's your mama name? What's all your shit birthday? Let me see your blue book. Don't get me started, cause I'm a terrorist. I'm still a terrorist. That's why I stay out of it, right? I don't even get involved in the like when we have lines, I be like, you know what? I'm passing because
I
Maze.
can see you in trouble, right?
Oh my! I used to sit in class and make notes about what I was gonna do.
Well, I'm all for the rules.
Do
I'm all for the rules.
I have any calls?
Rules are there for a reason.
Do I have calls?
As a past bachelor's of a grad chapter, I'm all for the rules.
I'm gonna give y'all like 1 minute to wrap up, and then we're gonna close out the show.
Right.
You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Ty Strojan. Todd, it is our last break. We're about to wrap it up. But before we do, I wanted to make sure that we gave Lisa Cooper, she's with State Farm, as well as Jamile Cannon. He is, you know what, block with the Block Chicago. And really, he's the Box Chicago, because they're going to box you up. Teach your kids some discipline. Lisa, tell people one more time how they can apply for this $25,000 grant.
Visit StateFarmNeighborhoodAssist.com. That's sfneighborhoodassist.com. Look at the 3 grant applications and think about the needs that you have in your community. Complete the grant application when it goes live on June the 5th. And hit submit on June the 5th. Don't wait, because we got all of our grant applications in the first day. We're going to accept 2,000 grant applications.
And that's nationwide.
Nationwide.
Illinois, Chicago, we want to win. Now, Jamal, you won last time, so tell people it's possible. Did you think you had a chance to win it?
I did. I was sure because I knew we could bring in the right. I thought we had a chance to win because I was sure to bring in the right people to make it happen.
See, look at that. That boxing teach you some confidence. So I want to do that too. Teach the kids. Because, you said...
The organization, too.
Organization, right. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, you know who the best people are at WVON Morning Show, right? Because, we won the... when Amazon had their contest, we reached out to the WVON Morning Show. We whooped everybody. We whooped TV, radio. We whooped everybody. That's right. So, now I'm going to tell y'all, the power of advertising. Best place to be is at WVON. Todd?
Yes.
So, I don't know, man. I don't know. This accountability thing, this black accountability, I see everybody throwing roses and having like the roses parade. What is it, the parade of roses? Tournament of roses. I no shade to Mayor-elect Lightfoot, because I really don't know her. Somebody said she got to come back on the show. She ain't never been on the show.
Right.
Let's start there. And I know that everybody, but if Ground Zero, Black Chicago, you want to talk about it for real, you want to answer the question, what's in it for the black people, it's right here on the WVON Morning Show. And we have not seen Mayor-elect here. She done been to everybody. But nobody want, because you know how I do, right? You know how I do. And y'all know I'm not going for no selfies. Well, I actually did take a selfie with her, though. But no selfies before I get an answer to what's in it for the black people. At least on the radio show. Todd, what do we have to do to stop pledging our allegiance before we got something out of it? Like, why do I feel crazy for saying, can we just at least know what we pledging our allegiance to before we pledge it?
No, you're absolutely right. I always say we have to actually believe in ourselves and believe that we are powerful. I think most people, they feel that they're weak, and that's probably because so many of them like to do things by themselves. And your strength is in the group. And if you use that, then you will withstand any blow that is struck to you.
See, that's my point. Like, my point is, it seems to me like all the people that chose wrong in the election cycle ran to Mayor Lightfoot as their, like, asking to her for mercy, as compared to running to the black people and building a shelter amongst us, right? It seems like it's still like the people who, it feels like they want to say, still pick us, we still good. It's like we could do what we did for you, for them, for you, but you didn't do nothing for them. Because when you finally had to put it down, when you had to show what you had, You really couldn't. Tired. I'm just tired. This is what I'm saying. It's time for us to start, as the black community, to start suggesting that we have to get more out of our allegiance. We have to get more out of our political. We got to have outcomes. And just throwing a party, just being like, oh, Mrs. Mayor. Is it Mrs. Mayor? How do I do that? I don't even know. I got to get the pronoun stuff to go.
Well, you know, when I went to high school, there was a young lady who taught communications, and she let us know she was a Ms.
So nowadays you gotta be
like anything.
Now they be like, now you gotta be they, them, the, he. They be like, put my up. See, they said you better cut it off. You're getting too far already. Look. So for Annette Flournoy in the newsroom, for the Wonder Twins, Sonia Escobar and Sonia Tompkins, for our guest Lisa Cooper, we go all the way back to U of I, ILL.
I.
To my man Jamal Cannon. I got my co-host Ty Stroger. Hey y'all, don't forget tonight. I will join me at the Tobacco Road Foundation, where I will be getting the Media Impact Award, 7 o'clock. Media Impact Award. Come join us, get some food, get some drink. Check it out, and I will be giving y'all a nice, long speech. So come on out and sit in my row with me. If you need tickets, hit me up on Facebook. It's Talk Chicago. We'll be back tomorrow. Traffic. Oh, excuse me. Perry Smalls next. And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. May said, we out of here. Peace. I almost forgot my exit. Oh, I almost was like, y'all about to be like, all right, we'll be out of here. Talk to you later. All right, y'all. We up out of here. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you, my brother. All good, all good.
Thank you for hooking him up with a contact.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
no, you reach out for Pick. Call Mike Joyce. All right, y'all.